The secret to the Moran Empire's domination of the continent for hundreds of years lies in the holy beast that protects the country. The holy beast is raised by the empire's heir and views the nurturer as a parent. When the holy beast takes human form, he also relies heavily on his parent. The newly awakened holy beast smelled his mother's scent. Even though Mom is a princess, she is always very busy. He really wants Mom to play with him every day. Many people say Mom is a bad woman, calling her a witch or a terrible monster. But he thinks those titles are so cool. He found Mom, his mother, Martina. She is the most powerful woman in the world. Mom is truly so beautiful. At this moment, Mom also noticed him. He threw himself into Mom's arms, wanting to do that daily fixed 3-2-1 with Mom. Sticking out their tongues, the two laughed at the table. He asked Mom if she hadn't decided who would be his dad yet. Martina looked into the distance and said, "Do you mean those guys? They're dangerous monsters. Absolutely not candidates for a good dad. Just having you is enough for me." Now she just wants to protect him well, because in her past life, she lost this child. She held the dying holy beast. The Empire's eldest son, Mephil, Martina's brother, said she killed the holy beast during the hatching process. The holy beast is the Empire's guardian deity. Her sin would be considered blasphemy. Martina said he isn't dead yet. She will cure him. Small claws touched her hair, saying "Mama." He was in so much pain, she couldn't help but shed tears. Mephil cruelly said the court mages had already diagnosed it. Her holy beast wouldn't live past today. Admit your guilt and accept the law. The emperor issued a decree to Martina. Strip Princess Martina of her noble status and exile her to the empire's border. In her past life, she became a complete failure, known as the ruinous villainess, a despicable god-killer exiled to the desolate border, while her brother Mephil inherited the throne. In the empire's battle for succession, she and her brother had to nurture a holy beast each. His holy beast was born successfully, helping him gain the right of succession. That brother who always opposed her finally won once, but she would absolutely not admit defeat. She would absolutely find a way to revive her child and take back the inheritance that belonged to her. She escaped from the exile convoy, hunted, assassinated by her brother's subordinates, fleeing all the way, searching all the way, finally found that legendary prophet. She said she was the only person to find her in 1,000 years. And she had only one request, to revive her child. Her courage and perseverance deserved help. But was she willing to pay the price? Was she willing to pay with this life, kill herself, and start over? Hearing this, she now needed a reason to believe her. What a cunning girl. She demonstrated her magical abilities, fading the injuries on the holy beast. But in this life, that was all she could do. So, was she willing to go to the next life? She took out a knife and said, "Please take him to that future. A quiet residence." She suddenly opened her eyes. No wounds, not thin, hair not cut short either. She was reborn. She smiled wickedly at the enemies of her past life. She is back. Joyful, she noticed the necklace on her body. It was designed by her to celebrate, without making a pact with the holy beast. That means her child has already come to her side. It's good that he is still alive. She's just too excited right now, holding it in her hands, afraid of dropping it. She hurriedly put it away to feel safe. But what about the method to protect the child promised by the prophet? Thinking this, a pop-up window jumped out in front of her. It read, "The prophet's customized raising tips for you have been delivered. It is the prophet's will. It will assist her in raising the holy beast." It started explaining common knowledge, but she already knew all this. It finally said that to make the holy beast grow, a national pillar needs to perform a loyalty kiss on the parent. Energy is replenished to the holy beast through the parent. National pillar, a great talent indispensable for the country's prosperity. Loyalty kiss, with feelings of loyalty in the heart, making mouth contact with a certain part of the parent's body. So that's it. In her past life, she had looked through ancient books about holy beasts. Ancient records stated that hundreds of years ago, there was a secret method to make holy beasts grow quickly. It seems this is the lost secret method. However, a loyalty kiss from a national pillar is a bit hard to get, because her reputation is super bad. She fought for succession with her brother since childhood, often getting into physical fights. She has long been notorious in the circle of ladies. Her arrogant personality is also criticized among the nobles. No matter what talent, they wouldn't pledge loyalty to such a princess. But for the sake of the child, she must adjust her style. She wants to be a mother who can help him grow up healthy, and also wants to be a mother he can be proud of. She really hopes that when he is born, he can smile and call her. Like in that dream where he smiled and called her mama. Her personal maid Louise and palace guard Lenny came to wake her up and serve her, asking her to confirm today's schedule. The heroine told them to come over. The two were very scared. She often faced this kind of fear. Now, acting out of character, she asked them for a cheek kiss. The two looked at each other directly, their eyes revealing shock. They still came over and kissed. Neither satisfied the condition of a national pillar. Only the attendant held feelings of loyalty. Just as she thought, there are her brother's spies among the people around her. In her past life, after she was sentenced to exile, the guard Lenny defended her, was stripped of her knight title and demoted to a common maid. Louise, however, enjoyed glory and wealth. In her past life, she was also cold to those around her because she didn't know who was her brother's spy. But in this life, she can see everything clearly. She put her arms around their shoulders, thanking them for their care, giving them a day off. She would do the rest herself. The two were very grateful. The attendant hadn't had a day off in 3 years. Louise's wish was to have a holiday. They left happily. This is her first step to improving her reputation. At the same time, paralyzing the spy is also necessary. No need to pull her out yet. Keeping her is still useful. The two went out chatting, unable to believe this was Her Highness's style. It felt like a dream. Someone walked over asking what happened to Her Highness. They talked about what just happened and praised the princess for being truly beautiful. He found it very strange after hearing it. The experience of exile in her past life allowed her to see through many people. Some betrayed her and some protected her. Meal is the palace secretary who grew up with her, although he sometimes mocked her with a smile. But in her past life, he gripped the towel. Meal, palace secretary, Martina's childhood friend. Gentle, sharp, the perfect secretary who never makes mistakes. Hearing he had a whimsical idea, she looked at Meal, grabbed his collar, and said, "You're still alive." He said somewhat confusedly, "Of course I'm alive." Did he fail her expectations? Her hands were trembling, saying such unlucky words early in the morning. He didn't understand what was wrong with Martina. Was she crying? The heroine said, "It's really great that you're alive." That scene was her eternal nightmare in her past life. On the road to exile, he died to protect her. Meal had known the princess for so long. This was the first time he saw her cry. He didn't understand what had happened. The heroine took a deep breath, said she had a dream last night, dreamt that something happened to him. But seeing him alive and well now, she felt he could still work for her until he was 100 years old. Being a secretary at 100, she really is an out-and-out villainess. If he resigns, she would just capture him back. Even better. Also to test Meal, he can handle all schedules precisely and brew 12 kinds of black tea. The heroine asked him to kiss her cheek. Meal felt the princess was teasing him again. But the princess threatened, "If you don't kiss, your salary this month will be halved." She is always so willful, and he can never do anything about the princess. The heroine looked at the display screen. He indeed wasn't a national pillar. Although expected, it was still a bit regretful. It seems only strong people who can influence the country count as national pillars. During her exile in the past life, many talents did appear. She can recruit them in advance using her past life memories. Tell me about today's schedule. The princess never listened to these before, only doing things as she pleased. Today is really strange, but he still reported honestly. Morning, go to the dress shop for the custom dress. Too boring, not going. Afternoon, accompany Countess Dean for a tea party. Even more boring, not going. In her past life, she went to this damn tea party. They spent the whole afternoon matchmaking for dogs. Evening, her brother, Prince Mephil, is holding a ball. Given their relationship, he doesn't recommend going. But the heroine said no, she's going to attend this ball. Because at this ball, that future war god will appear. Lien, the little prince of the neighboring Hisning Empire. Future general, the invincible pitch-black war god. He wasn't favored in the Hisning Empire. He left the palace in his teens to travel alone. Later, joined a mercenary corps. He was even seen as a disgrace among nobles. Until years later, when the Hisning Empire went to war with another country, Lien was recruited back and won battle after battle, bestowed the title of Pitch Black War God. And Lien's initial grudge with other countries started at this ball. He was hired by a noble to act as a bodyguard and attend the ball for protection, but he accidentally bumped into another noble lady. This drew deep disgust and fear from the other party. To protect the noble, her brother expelled Lien from the ball. If she can help him through this difficulty, maybe she can get his loyalty kiss. Relations between the two countries could also ease in the future. Prepare the most beautiful dress. She's going to the ball's banquet hall. In her past life, she had bad relations with these nobles and rarely attended balls. Should I get on good terms with them this time? The heroine greeted Lady Sophia, but the effect wasn't good. The Egger brothers saw her. Why not say hello? Hearing this, the two turned to greet her. The princess looks down on them, yet still came to the ball. She didn't hold back. She said she thought, occasionally I want to see how idiots dance. The brothers were instantly enraged. Worthy of being his dear sister, whenever she appears, she stirs up a storm of blood. Meffel walked over at some point. They were very respectful to the prince, smiling and greeting, watching him turn and leave. Meffel looked at the heroine. Doesn't she hate occasions where he is present the most? Why come his ball? The heroine answered, to dance. This puzzled him greatly. These people fear her, detest her. No one wants to dance with her. Stop embarrassing the royal family. My dear sister, the imperial princess has no one to invite her at the ball. What a huge scandal if word gets out. Why don't you bow your head and beg me? I can dance one dance with you. The heroine rejected him directly. Noises came from the distance. The heroine said happily, I found my dance partner. In the eyes of the nobles, mercenaries are just dogs. As long as you give money, they sell their combat power. Working for one side this time, next time they might support the other side. Just dogs that can be driven at will if paid. Why give a dog a good face? This noblewoman has a high status, a famous figure in social circles. Due to the noblewoman's status, the employer pushed all responsibility onto Lien. But he was the one who asked them to protect him at the ball. Either kneel and beg for the madam's forgiveness, or get out. It's useless even if he apologizes. These people don't know Lien's true identity. But if Lien acts rashly, it might cause a dispute between the two countries. He remained silent at this moment. It wasn't until the two countries were at war in the future that he mentioned this cruel past to his subordinates. Just as they were about to throw him out, the heroine shouted from afar, stopping their behavior, saying that person is her dance partner. Lien turned back in surprise. The heroine pointed at him and said she chose this person. Who dares to take away a princess's man? The noblewoman came to explain that the man knocked her down just now. The heroine directly compensated her with 2 brand new dresses. Whether she was injured or not was irrelevant. The noblewoman was somewhat angry. The princess is actually going to dance with a lowly mercenary. It truly damages the royal reputation. The heroine asked Lien if he heard that. She's a crazy princess, just seeing if he has the guts to dance with her. He was attracted by the heroine's unique personality charm. He shook off other people's restraints. In his hometown, strong women are like the fieriest warhorses. Only the bravest warriors are qualified to challenge. Thank you for giving me this qualification. He gently kissed the back of the heroine's hand. Just like that, they danced at the ball. Meffel saw everything from above. His sister just likes to do outrageous things. But he sneered, it doesn't matter. She will come crying to beg me in the end, because only I am her blood brother. The two were dancing. He was very grateful for the heroine saving the scene. The heroine replied, I just can't stand those nobles. As a reward, you can make a request of me. The opportunity has come. But if she directly asks him to kiss her hand, it probably won't have loyalty. What request can she make? He said, for example, guarding your safety for a month, or fighting for you, or assassinating someone for you. The heroine tentatively asked, what if my request is to assassinate the country's prince? He said, it's possible, but you have to buy my life first. The heroine almost forgot. When he was a mercenary, he was a complete desperado. Only his country and mother were his spiritual pillars. He had no interest in barbaric things like killing. But she thought a good idea. How about meeting me alone tomorrow? He frowned slightly and said, I'm sorry. I cannot keep you company. The heroine didn't expect to be rejected. Somewhat surprised, couldn't help sighing in the palace, wondering why exactly. Miel heard the heroine's troubles, said, you know the princess's personality, right? The heroine slammed the table and stood up. What about my personality? Miel said, domineering and bossy. You often bullied him when you were young. Lien only left her a note with his address. In this case, when could she get the loyalty kiss? If she doesn't get it, her child will die again. She stroked the egg. Suddenly, the egg actually moved. The heroine hurriedly called Miel, asked if the holy beast was about to be born. A pop-up window jumped out saying the holy beast was hungry. In her past life, escaping from exile, then rebirth after untold hardships, all for this moment. She finally has hope of seeing this child again. Great, he's just hungry. Miel wondered how an egg could be hungry. He guessed the princess herself wanted a midnight snack. The heroine said, "Mind your own business. I say he's hungry, so he's hungry." Miel felt it was dangerous for her to hold it like that. Better put it down. At this time, the egg shook again. The two looked at each other and put the egg away properly. The holy beast is about to hatch. It's the most tense time. Must take good care. Miel ordered. Adjust room temperature to the optimal incubation temperature. Aromatherapy to maintain Her Highness's most used scent. Finally, soft and soothing music. The heroine couldn't help laughing. Miel seems like a mother now. Everyone says he is the villainess's lackey. Shouldn't a lackey protect everything of the master? His words satisfied the heroine greatly. In her past life, when that child hatched, he was already seriously ill. He lived for less than a day. The strongest mages couldn't save him. He stopped breathing in her arms. In this life, she will absolutely not let this happen again. Since it's confirmed that the mercenary Lien is a national pillar, she must get his loyalty kiss. Now, the heroine needs to find some materials, telling Miel to come back early. After all, the holy beast needs his aura. He looked at the heroine's retreating back, thinking she actually said he was like a mother just now. At the very least, he should be like a father. Next day, Red Mountain Inn. She looked for that tall, blue-eyed mercenary, but found he wasn't there. He went to Perro Park. That is the cemetery for noble lords. Go to his cemetery on a snowy day. That guy must be crazy. No wonder Lien rejected her invitation yesterday. Today is his mother's death anniversary. His father is the emperor of the Hisning Empire. His mother, that was the daughter of a noble in the Moran Empire. The two countries have always been at odds. His mother fell in love with the Hisning emperor she met by chance while traveling. She disregarded her family's opposition and eloped with him, and gave birth to a child, Lien. The mother's elopement experience was constantly mocked in Hisning social circles. She left her hometown. Her husband's country didn't accept her either. She eventually died of depression, buried in the cemetery of her hometown, according to her will. Lien often came to the Moran Empire when working as a mercenary. Every time, he would visit his mother. He wanted to take away the mementos from his mother's youth. But his mother's family never agreed to see him. Here, he actually heard someone calling him. It was the heroine coming over. She came to give him a gift. Why did Her Highness come here? The heroine told him to open it and see. He opened the box. Inside were actually his mother's relics. The heroine told him not to worry. She didn't tell anyone his identity. She just heard he came to the noble's cemetery. Plus, possessing the Vitaska signature blue eyes. Did some investigation and guessed it. How did you get it? Because of his mother's departure, they had always hidden everything about her. The heroine used a bit of a villainess's privilege, regardless of what her purpose is. He is grateful she brought his mother's relics to him. To him, they are priceless treasures. But he doesn't know how to repay the heroine. In the Hisning Empire, he is the least favored prince. Father and the former empress's sons have legitimate bloodlines and are more likely to inherit Hisning. In his mother's family, they never acknowledged his existence. For over 20 years, they never saw him once. Everything he possesses is only the sword in his hand and the horse behind him. He knelt down and said, "Mercenaries are all homeless beasts. Your gift is enough to buy my life." He asked the heroine to say who he should bite to death for her. The heroine smiled and said, "I don't want that kind of boring thing." The heroine said, "How about I become your home? What they couldn't give you, I will give you. The hurt they caused you, I will fight against it with you." The heroine will absolutely not let him be a lonely beast again. When he was young, holding a sword alone, sitting in the room. At this time, the door opened a crack. Sunlight poured in. It was the heroine walking over to hold his hand. He wants to tame a beast to live for her. But aren't a villainess and a beast very interesting? He said, "You are truly incredible. Crazy Princess Highness." He took the heroine's hand and took off his glove, saying Lien swears loyalty to her. From now on, the princess is his home. A pop-up jumped out. Parent Martina has replenished energy for the holy beast. Emergency. Holy beast energy sufficient, about to hatch. How can be so fast? The heroine's expression was very panicked. At this moment, Lien thought the heroine wanted to go back on her word. His expression became gloomy. He looked like if she went back on her word, he would perish together with her. She isn't someone who backs out at the last minute. She said she suddenly remembered something important in the palace. Now she need to go back quickly. No time for a carriage. He put a shawl on the heroine. She isn't cold right now. Wipe a clothes on her. Suddenly her feet left the ground. He picked up the heroine, saying the wind is strong when riding a horse. It will be cold. His horse is fast and can get her there before noon. It's just cold and bumpy. Can you do it? The heroine grabbed his collar. Said, it doesn't matter even if my hands and feet freeze off. Depart immediately. He smiled. Horse hooves raised, worthy of being her. Moran Empire Palace arrived. The heroine said thanks to him this time. She will contact him again after taking care of the child. Lien grabbed her arm, asked confusedly, you have a child? The heroine answered happily, yes, I have a child. Lien watched her leave from a distance. She has a child with someone else. Who exactly is that person? Kill him. He held his face. No. She will be angry. She will hate me. You should endure. Imperial Princess's bedroom. The egg cracked a slit. Meals circled around the egg. The first thing the holy beast sees upon birth should be the princess. But she hasn't returned yet. Meal could only beg the holy beast to endure a little longer. Unexpectedly, the crack opened wider. Several people let out screaming like pigs being slaughtered. The heroine opened the door and entered. So noisy. They respectfully stood aside. Actually, her heart was also very uneasy. In her previous life, this child was on the verge of death when he hatched. That scene was her eternal nightmare. Now she was both nervous and afraid. Will he be healthy? Will he survive properly? Everything, finally, the holy beast broke out of the shell. Crying out, Mama. Martina instantly sobbed, her child, thanking him for being born safely. In the prince's chambers, firewood was burning. Methel's holy beast also hatched. It looked very cute. Subordinates congratulated His Majesty on successfully hatching the holy beast. He heard a secret report. The holy beast under Martina's command also hatched today. Methel turned and said, he told him to send someone to poison it. Is this how they do their job? The way the baby drinks milk is so cute. The holy beast has the consciousness of a 2- or 3-year-old human from birth. Magical creatures are truly amazing. But if he keeps drinking milk, he can only replenish magic power. The only efficient source of magic power is the kiss of loyalty from a pillar of the state. Martina said, she at least has Lien, but he is about to leave for his next mission. She wanted to keep him as a long-term guard. But the panel said, the pillar of the state lacks necessary experience. He might lose his status as a pillar of the state. If he doesn't travel to various countries, he might not become the future pitch black war god. So Martina decided on their original development. She felt so annoyed. The holy beast pounced on her, calling Mama. Martina's heart was about to melt. She couldn't help but gently feed him. No matter how troublesome, it doesn't matter. In this country, there's a wildflower called lily. It can grow for more than 30 years. It can recover even after being burned by fire. Martina named him Lily. He is Mama's lily, a lily that can live very long. Mama will protect him to live a very, very long life. The secretary and the maid walked over. The maid was a bit surprised. Your Highness's holy beast has such a good appetite. The bottle is empty so quickly. She went to prepare a new one. The secretary said the news of her holy beast's birth had been conveyed to His Majesty. It was also announced to the major nobles. At the same time, her brother also hatched a holy beast. Martina heard this and said she knew. Lily looked forward curiously, asked the secretary if he was Papa. The two were stunned on the spot. The secretary's face turned red instantly. Then he said no. Martina smiled and said if he were a father, he would definitely be ridden on the head by his wife and daughter. He coughed lightly, saying she knew clearly that he had always been single. Then he turned to explain to Lily. He is his mother's servant, and his mother loves to bully him the most. Lily didn't understand what a servant was. The girl ran over to cover his ears, telling him not to teach Lily strange things. Then Martina introduced their names to each other. After putting Lily down, Martina asked about the intelligence on the maid, Louise. Meal didn't understand why Martina suspected her. Check for done before. Martina suspected her because Louise had no loyalty to her. She speculated. The person who poisoned Lily's egg in the past life was her. In this life, she protected the egg very tightly. She didn't find a chance to poison it. She must have been bought by her brother. But since she passed the investigation when she first became a maid, why was she bought? Something must have happened during this time. Martina asked him to investigate Louise. Meal suggested firing her directly. If she fires a maid without cause, her reputation will be even worse. If she wants to win against her brother, and let Lily become the true holy beast of the empire. She must become an amazing mother. In the kitchen, Louise's hands trembled as she wanted to poison the milk. Someone said to her, "Does she want to challenge that villainess's bottom line? If Princess Martina finds out what she did, she will let 10 vicious dogs bite her to death." Then listen to his orders. Louise gritted her teeth and put the poison in, brought it to Martina, then said to the young miss that the milk was warmed. "It is suitable for drinking within half an hour." Then she would take her leave first. Martina and the secretary told Louise they had something to discuss with her. Her heart pounded wildly. Trembling, she asked what was the matter. Martina told her to drink it. Louise was unwilling. Martina asked why she wasn't willing to drink. Did she have something to hide from her? Seeing the nipple about to touch her mouth, she still didn't speak. Martina had to present the evidence. The secretary pushed a lady over. That was her mother. She said thanks to the princess. The doctor looked at her eyes and said they could be cured. Asked Louise to thank the princess properly. Her poor child. Once she is cured, she won't have to shed tears for her mother anymore. Louise couldn't help but cry great. As long as she can recover, she is willing to do anything. Her mother suddenly went blind. Her family became destitute. She once stole her ring, but this will be deducted from her salary next year. Louise couldn't believe it. She was still willing to employ her. Martina shook the bottle and said, "Of course. Although she is a notorious villainess, but she is also a mother, a woman who does bad things for her mother. She appreciates her." Louise was very touched. She said this bottle of milk was laced with a magic potion. Someone threatened her to murder His Highness, the Holy Beast. She will tell her everything she did wrong. Martina said she would wait for her. Go accompany her mother for a walk first. They haven't seen each other for a long time. The two slowly left the room. Mia was a bit surprised. She didn't punish her directly. Instead, let her take care of her mother. It's very unlike her style. Martina leaned close and asked him, was he implying that she used to be a vicious and unreasonable princess? He said no. Martina pointed at his eyes and said, his cunning fox eyes said exactly that. Of course, she will do more things that surprise him. Just wait and see. Then Martina walked away happily. Mia's expression changed. She is indeed still the same character, but her style of doing things has changed drastically. If it were the Princess Highness from before, she would absolutely not give anyone a chance to betray her. If anyone dared to offend her, she would trample the opponent under her feet. She made countless enemies because of this personality. She was called a villainess in social circles and among the populace. A witch, although she occasionally had cute points that only he knew. What on earth caused her to change so much? Becoming a holy beast's mother? Would it have such a big impact? Or did something happen to her that he doesn't know about? The news of two holy beasts hatching simultaneously caused an uproar in the Moran Empire. The guardian holy beast of the Moran Empire has a unique breeding method. When the previous emperor's life is coming to an end, his holy beast will lay an egg. This egg will be given to the empire's heir. If it is a legitimate heir, the holy beast will hatch successfully. Heirs who fail to hatch were once found to be of non-royal bloodline or studying black magic. Therefore, failure to hatch is punishable by heavy crimes. Martina and Mephel's father, the current Emperor Gardner Moran, has been seriously ill for 2 years. His holy beast laid 2 eggs. This means both of the emperor's children are legitimate heirs. This is the first time in the empire's history. The Council of Nobles decided the person who hatches the holy beast first gains the right of inheritance. But the holy beast hatched at the same time. The carriage stopped. Martina walked out, holding the secretary's hand. She couldn't help trembling. The secretary noticed her nervousness. This is her first time formally attending the Council of Nobles. There are many people inside who can't stand her, planning to remove her from the royal family. None of them probably thought that she, the notorious princess, could also hatch a holy beast. They might blame Lily because of her. Meal. It was also the first time he saw her looking downcast. In his heart, she was like a rampaging carriage, smashing through any problem she encountered. Martina smiled and said so in his heart. She wasn't even a person. The way she smiled, it would fill others with courage too. She just walked in smiling like that. All difficulties would make way for her. Moran Empire Council of Nobles. Moran Empire Prince Mephel Moran successfully hatched a holy beast. Moran Empire Princess Martina Moran also hatched a holy beast. According to imperial tradition, an heir who hatches a holy beast can inherit the throne. Grand Justice Matthew Douglas said, but historically, it has never happened that 2 heirs hatched holy beasts simultaneously. How to decide the heir now is left to the nobles and His Majesty to decide together. Empress Isabel Moran. Emperor Gardner Moran asked, can't they prove themselves? Who is more worthy of this throne? Meffel said, perhaps his sister should withdraw herself. A few days ago, she scolded nobles at a banquet, defended a lowly mercenary. Lily angrily told him not to speak bad words about Mama. Meffel's holy beast roared at him. Lily also refused to back down. Martina asked her brother before slandering her, please explain what this is. Martina took out a bottle. Meffel said sarcastically, why did she bring a ridiculous baby bottle here? Martina continued, saying someone bought off her servant to make her use this bottle of milk laced with magic powder to poison her holy beast. Interestingly, she had someone decode the potion's formula. The formula to refine this potion. Only the mages under her brother have it. To murder the Empire's holy beast. Such a prince should not have inheritance qualifications. Brother, is that correct? Everyone discussed spiritedly, started to suspect the prince. The emperor called for silence and asked if the prince had a defense. He said coincidentally his mage was waiting outside. Call him in. Martina was very worried. In her past life, he used magic to kill Lily. Can she use this move to bring him down in this life? Nervous, she couldn't help hugging Lily. The door opened. The prince's mage was brought in. The prince asked. His sister said someone wanted to poison the holy beast, and only he has the formula for this potion. The evidence is conclusive. His answer was, he knelt directly and said he made the potion, but this matter was his act alone. The Prince Highness did not know. Murdering a holy beast is an unforgivable sin. He is willing to prove the Prince Highness's innocence with his own death, saying that he used magic to incinerate himself directly. Martina was shocked seeing this. Everyone was frightened. The scene was a mess. Meffel asked Martina. He took revenge for her. Is she satisfied? He could actually make a precious mage die for him. This way there is no proof. Martina said, just the mage's words alone cannot prove it. The emperor couldn't help coughing. The empress told him to stop speaking. His father is too tired. Let's end it here for today. He believes his brother wouldn't harm her intentionally. The matter of the heir will be left for next month's council meeting. Many people had already left. Martina also intended to get up and leave. Her brother stood behind her and stopped her. He said they were really alike, equally arrogant and cunning, wanting to deal a fatal blow to the other, and equally cold-blooded eyes. Martina retorted, if you don't like them, you can gouge your own eyes out. Their father is already extremely weak. Their mother has never had real power, and 70 of the nobles in the council obey his orders. The knights serve him. The mages have signed contracts with him. He is one step away from becoming the pinnacle of this country. At that time, he will take her eyes, inlay them in his crown, and make her little rabbit into a pair of gloves. Martina pushed him away directly. Since childhood, he liked to snatch her things. But the loser this time will be him. Meffel said he is already waiting to hear her screams of begging for mercy. The carriage traveled on the road. Martina sat silently in the carriage. Meffel, that madman's words, always reminded her of her past life. In the past life, Lily was poisoned by him. She was executed and exiled by him. The fate of losing to him was even more tragic than death. She went through untold hardships to get the chance to be reborn. Saved Lily's life. In this life, she will absolutely not repeat the same mistakes. When she turned her head, wanting to state her plan, the two were making funny faces at her. Martina couldn't help laughing out loud, asked what they were doing. Emil said this would make Mama happy. He wanted Mama not to be sad. Martina trembled all over seeing this. She said she was actually afraid. Afraid she couldn't protect him. But she's not afraid now. When she sees his smile, her heart is filled with courage. As long as Lily is by her side, there is nothing she cannot do. Lily said he would be with her forever. Lily told her not to cry. He is Mama's handkerchief. Emil looked at her smiling, thinking she has the power to protect others. He can prove it. 10 years ago, Emil served her dishes. Martina looked at him and said he was very pretty. He didn't understand what the princess was saying. Martina pointed at his eyes and said, his eyes were very pretty, like the green grass in the garden. Meffel mocked him from the side for using such a vulgar metaphor. It seems her court tutor is also an unpresentable fool. Emil's face looked a bit ugly. He apologized timidly. Martina told him to leave. No need to pay attention to that mad dog. Meffel looked displeased. At night, he delivered water to the prince. He shook the water glass and then smashed it. He was worried if his highness was injured. The prince told him to pay. saying the water glass could buy many servants. But the glass was clearly broken by himself. He ordered men to break his hands and feet. A group of people rushed in from outside. He was directly pinned to the ground. The prince revealed a wicked smile. His hand was broken. Martina walked in and said, "Let him go." She showed displeasure on her face. Meffel said he smashed his cup. This is what he deserves. Martina said he has 100 cups. Now there's still enough cups for him to drink until he dies. Meffel asked, is she going to resist him for a lowly person like a weed? Martina did not fear his threat, said even if he is a weed. He is a weed she has taken a fancy to. She turned and walked in front of him, asked him if he was willing to be her sole servant. If he dares, she will protect him. He reached out and grabbed Martina's hand. Martina said sooner or later, she will cut Meffel into pieces and throw him into the toilet. He silently thanked the imperial daughter. She said she just found her brother an eyesore. Later she will find a doctor to fix his hand. He said he wanted to repay the imperial daughter. She was a bit puzzled. He just needs to work for her. He said he would wear glasses from now on because she said his eyes were pretty. Then he will only show them to her. Martina was a bit surprised. She said whatever. Anyway, she will work him hard in the future. Miel asked her what she planned to do next. The Prince Highness's power is vast. The mages who signed contracts with him are also numerous. But according to his investigation, the ones who signed with him are at most intermediate mages. If she can get a high mage's contract, it will definitely greatly increase her prestige. She thought so too. Must find a powerful mage to be her advisor. Otherwise, Lily is in danger. But she doesn't plan to find a current high mage. What she is looking for is a future legendary mage. Several days later, Martina couldn't find Lily. She's going out herself today. He will play with Miel today. The cabinet door made a creaking sound. A pair of eyes were glowing. He jumped out and said, "Mama, he is here." Then directly pounced on Martina, knocking her down. Said he wants to play with Mama. Martina said she also wants to play with Lily. But there is an important matter today. Martina said she would bring back toys. Miel told her to go out with peace of mind. He will take care of the holy beast. She is visiting a mage today. If the contract is signed successfully, Lily won't have to worry about black magic in the future. Martina said she is leaving first. Miel wished her all the best. Lily asked if Miel wanted to go together too, because every time Mama leaves, he always watches her. Miel said being able to dedicate his all to her is already enough happiness for him. He is not qualified to ask for more. What does Lily want to play today? How about they draw together? Lily likes drawing. At the inn, the innkeeper said that mercenary was not in the inn. Martina felt strange. She clearly asked him to accompany her to the magic tower. Since he is not there, then let's set off directly. Lien's sudden disappearance is a bit suspicious. She originally wanted a kiss of loyalty. Could it be that Lien was just acting on impulse at that time? Regretted pledging loyalty to her, this villainess, after sleeping on it? But she has already submitted a visit application to the magic tower. She can only look for Lien later. That future legendary mage, Phoenix, is currently just an ordinary apprentice in the magic tower. He is of commoner origin. He was not famous during his apprenticeship. Many years later, Phoenix wrote in his memoirs, "Today was the day he was framed by other apprentices and driven out of the magic tower." Magic tower. Phoenix, is this the homework he submitted? The homework was to seal a fire element with ice. But what did he seal? A fly. Does trash like him deserve to study in the magic tower? He argued that he submitted a fire element. Someone replaced his homework. The teacher frowned. Is he saying his noble classmates replaced the homework of him, a commoner? Laughter came from the classmates behind. Someone said, "Professor, the parchment he uses for homework is trash they threw away. Why would nobles steal his things? He has to scavenge for trash to finish homework, has to work in the kitchen to afford the uniform. What is the use of someone like him learning magic?" The teacher said, "Phoenix, the magic tower will not tolerate such a bad student like him." He told him, if he makes a mistake again, he must be expelled from the magic tower. From today on, he is no longer a student of the magic tower. He said fine, even if he doesn't attend the magic tower, he will always study magic, create magic that none of them have seen before. The teacher said he is too arrogant, forgot that the magic tower is the pinnacle of magic. Go back early and pack your luggage. This is not a place for him to stay. At this time, someone walked in, whispered something to the lecturer. He asked Phoenix to wait a moment. A noble guest proposed to the magic tower to be his sponsor. On the way, the two kept reminding him, because the guest is very distinguished. He must not say anything rude to offend her. He said he still didn't know who it was. Suddenly his eyes widened. Martina introduced herself. She is the Empire's Princess Martina. The lecturer said he is Phoenix, but there are many apprentices in the Magic Tower, more worthy of sponsorship than him. He has violated the Magic Tower rules 3 consecutive times, and once stole a noble apprentice's things. If your highness sponsors him, it might affect your reputation. He revealed a mocking smile. Yes, he stole young Master Edmund's homework, but a piece of homework worth 23 points. Really don't know what's the use of stealing it. The lecturer told him not to talk nonsense. He is not qualified to humiliate a noble. On this day in the past life, Phoenix was indeed driven out of the Magic Tower. He returned to his home village, resumed commoner life. There were no convenient magic materials and professor's guidance. But he never gave up magic, using things in the farmland to practice. And magic did not give up on him either. He created many brand new magics. This shocked the Magic Tower greatly. The Magic Tower regretted it, re-invited Phoenix back to the Magic Tower, although he could practice magic in the village too. But he also suffered a lot. If Phoenix can stay in the Magic Tower, with her as his backing, he will definitely become a genius faster. Martina interrupted them, wanted to chat with him alone for a while. The lecturer agreed. Before withdrawing, didn't forget to tell Phoenix to mind his manners. Soon only the two of them were left. Martina said she will pay for all his expenses studying in the Magic Tower. If he has any difficulties, he can come to her. She doesn't want to hear their opinions. Just want to ask him, is he willing to let her be his sponsor? Unexpectedly, he started undressing in front of Martina. Martina quickly closed her eyes and said she didn't have that kind of idea. Told him to put on his clothes quickly. He said he just wanted her to see what the previous person who sponsored him did. Martina was a bit surprised. That person beat him. Phoenix said he was a viscount, hated magic intensely, wanted a mage servant. But most mages are of noble origin, cannot be enslaved by him. It just happened that he was a rare commoner magic apprentice. He said he would sponsor him to serve him, but whenever he used magic, he would torture him cruelly. He wanted to ask if she would do this kind of thing to him. Martina was stunned on the spot. He cannot trust her, but hopes to get her help. Like a stray cat that has suffered a lot. Wants to get close to people, but dares not. In that case, can only use a fake mouse to lure him. Martina put clothes on him. She knew he wouldn't believe whatever she said. How about this? Whenever he achieves a goal, she will sponsor him for 1 academic year. The first goal is researching a small portable magic park. Phoenix was surprised. How did she know what he was researching? But not enough magic materials. He had been forced to stop research. This winter was very cold. Many people in his hometown village froze to death. She was thinking the same thing. She is the imperial princess. Also wants her citizens to spend a warm winter. Is he willing to continue researching this magic for her? Phoenix was a bit surprised. Then will she provide him with magic materials? And other apprentices throw away his things. Can he move to a single dorm room? The heroine said, "I'm a bad woman. Anything goes." Phoenix couldn't help laughing out loud. He is also the bad student the professors hate most. Just let him stay by her side. He heard kissing the back of the hand is a sign of loyalty, but that seems to be knight's etiquette. Can he do this to her? The heroine thinks he really looks like a little kitten. Has the loyalty kiss this time been collected this quickly? Finally, he plants a kiss, but the screen says Phoenix has no heart of loyalty. Was his sincerity just now? Just a performance for her? Is this future great mage actually a pretentious genius? Interesting. He just wanted to ask your highness, can he apply for research materials in her name in the future? He was directly pulled up and told no. The heroine was a bit surprised. Why is Ryan only coming now? When she went to the inn to find him. Now where did he go? Ryan said he is dangerous. If she lets him stay by her side, he will definitely bring danger. As long as she gives the order, he can eliminate him for her right now. Phoenix also started using magic. The heroine was confused. Phoenix is currently just an ordinary magic apprentice. Even the Magic Tower professors haven't discovered his talent. How did Ryan know? Is this the telepathy between pillars of the state? The natural guard powerful beasts have against each other? Ryan said if she can't bear to do it, then he will. Phoenix was also ready at any moment. The heroine shouted. The two assistants paused and looked at her. The heroine emphasized that they pledge loyalty to her. They are retainers. Without permission, no one is allowed to act on their own. Phoenix said with a wronged expression that he was just too scared. The heroine told him to follow her. She would discuss with his professor how to fund him. Changing dorms and research materials will all be handled. That's enough for him. After speaking, the heroine looked back at Ryan. He needs to calm down. Wait for her by her carriage afterwards. Phoenix made a funny face at him. Ryan gnashed his teeth in anger. He knew Your Highness was angry because he was too impulsive. He wanted to kill all dangerous people around her. It was like he had gone crazy. From a day, he swore loyalty to her, that he dreamt of her ceaselessly. Was the person in the dream her? Why did she have short hair? Why does his chest faintly ache once he leaves her side? Only fighting on the battlefield can relieve it. Is this the blood of the siphoning royalty, giving him power, yet turning him into an uncontrollable madman? To forget that pain, he took more mercenary missions. Muscle soreness and cold showers. They were the only things that could calm him down. In front of her, how on earth can he disguise himself as a normal person? After returning, the heroine was very happy. This counts as getting to know the future legendary mage in advance. At this time, she noticed Ryan, asked him if he had calmed down. She knew he had prince's blood, so she respected his thoughts very much. He grabbed the heroine's hand, said this has nothing to do with his identity. He wants to belong to her, wants to be closely connected to her, leave her name on his body. The heroine thought it strange. Write a name on his body? What kind of strange request is this? But he looked very anxious. If this could make him feel a bit better, she had to do it. She brought lipstick. Ryan didn't want the kind that vanishes quickly, leaving not even a trace. He was afraid he would turn into a crazy monster. The heroine didn't understand what was wrong with him. He said even if he became a monster, even if he couldn't remember anything, as long as he saw this mark, he would remember her. His hand used more and more force. The heroine told him to stop immediately. He was hurting her. He lowered his head and apologized. The heroine pushed him away directly. He wanted something that could cover the pain. The heroine snapped a rose, said only sharper pain could do it. Where did he want a name written? He wanted it on his chest. She wrote her name directly on his body, asked him why he didn't cry out in pain. He said this is what he deserves. Even if this isn't pain he should bear. As long as he is still alive, he won't let her suffer a bit of harm again. And the heroine's loyalty kiss, for the same person, gets less each time. Said it's to prevent him from hanging himself on one tree. And finally the heroine gave him something. This is her invitation. If he wants to visit the palace, show this invitation to the palace guards. But it can only be used once. He wanted more chances. The heroine said she needs a loyal knight, not a madman. As long as he behaves well, there will be more. Then, farewell. He looked at the departing carriage, thought to himself he could have a good dream tonight. Here, the heroine felt he was definitely a madman. That look in his eyes made her scared. Originally, she prepared 3 invitations for Ryan, but she was worried giving him too much sugar would make him crazier. Phoenix is a cunning cat that doesn't speak the truth. Ryan is a wild dog that could go mad at any time. Are pillars of the state all such dangerous figures? She just wants to raise Lily well. Imperial Palace corridor. Mill said Lily seems to be sick. The heroine was very anxious. What happened? Mill said just now Lily's belly suddenly bulged up. She kept saying it hurts, but today she hasn't drunk anything other than milk. Lily asked Mama to look at how she is. She said Lily's belly is bloated and hurts so much. It also hurts when pressed. It's all bloated inside. The heroine tried it. Indeed, she said it hurts. The heroine was a bit at a loss. She said, Lily, don't be afraid. She will figure out a way to cure her. She and Meal will discuss it, and come back to keep her company immediately. Lily told her to come back early. The heroine walked towards Meal, asked him if she had eaten anything wrong. He confirmed she only drank milk. The heroine suspected if it was something else. Did her brother send a mage again? Did she see any strangers today? Did she touch any strange things? Meal told her to calm down a bit. He checked everything Lily touched. Nothing suspicious. She didn't contact others either. The heroine was very lost after hearing this. They are currently still inside the Imperial Palace. She is still the princess of the Moran Empire, can protect her. Meal comforted her before losing Lily. She found the person who poisoned her. She protected Lily. Holy beasts are products of magic. Human doctors cannot treat her. Wait for her to calm down. They will take Lily to find a mage. Meal looked at the Hager Highness. Is he the only one who has seen her like this? The hand he reached out stopped again. Highness looked up and asked him what's wrong. Said it's nothing. At this time a maid came over and said Her Majesty the Empress asked her to go over. The heroine was a bit puzzled. Why is mother looking for her? At this time, the heroine told Meal to take good care of Lily, help her send a letter to the magic tower. Then she realized he was dazing, asked him very angrily what he was looking at. Did he hear her speak? He suddenly snapped back. Push her to go quickly. He will handle it properly. The heroine said if the letter isn't delivered, she'll punish him to massage her shoulders for a month. After the heroine left, he picked up the hair on his body and planted a kiss. Empress's chamber. The heroine asked Mother what's the matter. Is father okay? The Empress had been dazing. Hearing her voice, she told her to sit over. In her past life, she was sentenced for a grave crime, exiled to the border, before being driven out like a rat. Mother came to the prison to visit her once. Mother was already sick then. Her voice was very light. She couldn't hear clearly what she said. Only remembered one sentence, my child. Later on the road of her exile and escape, she heard news of her mother. The Empress of the Moran Empire passed away. She had been bedridden since the princess was exiled. The Empress told her not to resent her. At the Council of Nobles, she couldn't stand on either hers or Methel's side. She represents this country and her father. She cannot have personal bias. The heroine stood up and said if she wants to talk about this, she doesn't resent anyone. Methel is a madman, but she won't lose to him. The Empress held her hand, asked her and Methel. The relationship was clearly very good when young. Isn't it good to be like before? Why not listen to brother's words? Don't oppose her brother. They are a family. Going on like this, she will be hurt badly by him. The heroine said before he acts, she will chop off his head first. The Empress was very surprised. The heroine directly threw off her hand. The Empress said she doesn't wish for them to become like this. Next month, the Prince of the Sifting Empire will come to visit. We'll propose a marriage alliance with her. Mother said they are to ally with the Sifting Empire. But haven't they always had friction? The dispute between the Sifting Empire and Moran Empire has lasted for centuries. The people of both countries also detest each other. So after Ryan's mother eloped and married the Sifting Emperor, people of her motherland looked down on her. Her husband's country also detested her. If she marries a Sifting prince, there will only be this kind of ending too. She was shocked. Does mother want her to become the next Sifting second imperial concubine? However, Mother said she thinks too badly of both her and her brother. The one coming for the alliance is Sifting's second prince. Heard he is a noble and elegant highness. She slapped away Mother's hand and said she doesn't think so. Holy Beast can only grow up in the Moran Empire. What about her Holy Beast? She is also a mother. She won't leave her own child. Lily is sick. She still has to go care for her. Lily is the Holy Beast's name. If she has time, she can come see her. Mother remained where she was, unable to help feeling sad. Must she watch helplessly as her son and daughter end up mutually destroyed? Lily still felt a bit strange, but she has already sent a mage to look. We'll cure Lily. Lily said, Mama, hug more, okay? If Mama hugs her, it won't hurt. She won't go anywhere. We'll stay right here accompanying her. Soon night fell. Unknowingly, she fell asleep. Meal just wanted to cover her with a quilt. The heroine asked in a small voice, was the letter to the magic tower delivered? There are brothers people in the court magic division. She can't trust them. Now can only look for Phoenix to treat Lily. Meal said he's coming back soon. Lynn came up. She has already brought the letter to Phoenix. She told him to come up and announced her first. Also told her highness to look out the window. Turns out fireworks were being set off outside. Lily woke up and saw it, liked it very much too. Super happy. The fireworks, shapes, even included various small animals. It seems because her letter wrote it was to treat a small child's illness, that he made these small animal firework patterns. And Lily, in the future she can fly too. Seeing her so energetic, she was relieved too. Phoenix used magic to set off fireworks. He thought since he is already her highness's retainer, this meeting gift shouldn't be shabby. For his magic research to go smoothly, not pleasing her highness won't do. As a result, he went over and discovered the child she mentioned in the letter is this one, her daughter Lily. He thought the Imperial Holy Beast was a folk legend. Turns out it really exists. Her head feels very soft. She's a product of condensed magic. That's why she found him to treat the illness. Her belly is very bloated now, but he is just an ordinary student of the magic tower. Does she really want to hand such a major matter to him? She believes in the future he will surpass everyone, become the true pinnacle of mages. Phoenix was a bit surprised. Besides himself, she is the first person to believe he can do it. So he unleashed magic to feel a bit. He touched a spot. Lily said so bloated. This kind of magic is something he has never seen. Completely different from human magic. So huge and mysterious. Is this the Holy Beast carrying the Empire's destiny? He said inside Lily's body. It's completely different from humans or animals. Inside is only huge magic. Her stomach hurts because there is a small strand of foreign magic inside that hasn't digested, constantly affecting other magic. The heroine guessed it was the magic from Ryan's second loyalty kiss. The solution naturally requires exercise. Is Lily hugged by her highness every day and rarely walks herself? The heroine thought about it. It's true. Meal walked over and said, "This is because Lily living in the palace has risks, needs protection at all times." The atmosphere of the two staring at each other was very stiff. The heroine pushed Meal away and said no need to defend her. Indeed, she spoiled Lily too much, reluctant to let her play by herself. This time she can help her solve it, as long as she can figure out the magic's pattern. There's no magic problem she can't solve. Dazzling light made them unable to open their eyes. Lily flew and pounced over. Said to Mama, she doesn't hurt anymore. Looks like she has to take her for walks every day and eat less snacks. Occasionally give her a reward hug. Lily praised Phoenix. Called him brother is so amazing. But he said if he could be called brother, how should he address her mother? Going by age, he should call her sister. The heroine just smiled a bit. Meal looked at him from behind and signaled Lynn. Lynn understood and stepped forward, saying it's getting late. Inconvenient for Mr. Phoenix to stay. She will escort him back to the magic tower. On the way, the heroine asked him what reward he wanted. He acted cute and asked if he said he wanted to call her sister in private. Would she allow it? The heroine turned around and looked at him. Said his thoughts are really easy to guess. If his magic research needs more sponsorship, then bring out results properly for her to see. Don't play these little tricks. Understand? Go back and rest early, little brother. Phoenix was a bit surprised, actually saw through by her. Next, he stuck to the guard lady, wanted to ask about her highness, but was rejected by the guard. But she could tell how she became her highness's personal guard. Previously, her highness's royal guard had 4 people. Except for her, all were male. But those people only thought of seducing her highness, delusional about becoming her highness's lover to gain benefits. She couldn't stand listening, fought with them, but she couldn't beat them. When she was about to not hold on, her highness handed her a new sword, told her to clean up this trash properly. If she won, she would be her sole personal guard. Since knowing Lily had indigestion, she takes her for walks in the palace gardens every day, whether visiting nobles or servants, or guards. Everyone likes Lily very much. Even the eyes looking at her no longer, only fear and disgust. She thought it's time to bring Lily into social circles. Let the people of the Moran Empire know Lily is her most precious child. Also use this to celebrate/test how many among the nobles are of the Methyl faction, and how many have the guts to stand on her side. She wants to hold a banquet for Lily, celebrating her full moon. Invite all nobles in the imperial city. Nobles seem wise. Actually, all have their own stances and camps. Of course, relying on her past reputation, few support her. For this, she instructed Meal to prepare 3 kinds of invitations. The first is a white letter, sent to all nobles, respectful and concise tone, inviting them to attend the banquet. This is the first screening. Those who agree to come are either villains planning to defect to her, or moderates who have recently changed their view of her. The second is a black letter, sent to nobles who refused her the first time. This letter is a threat, just like she used to do often. After being threatened, nobles who agree to attend the banquet are objects she can win over. Those who still refuse. A portion are Methyl's people, with brother backing them. They dare to treat her coldly. The third is a red letter, sent to those who refused her the second time. This letter is a bribe. Nobles who are moved by bribes naturally aren't the upright type. They're the people under brother, most easily poached by her. In the future, they will become her sharp blades. Those who still refuse her the last time are either brother's iron-blooded supporters or truly strong-willed nobles worth roping in. After 3 screenings, the positions of all nobles are clear. Next, just defeat them one by one. Several days later, but outside these nobles, there's one more person who needs her comfort. The guy's been delivering letters for her these days, visiting dozens of nobles every day. Even an iron body can't hold up. He actually has a fever and is still working. The heroine dragged him, wanting him to go to bed, but didn't expect she couldn't pull him. He's a head taller than her. Using brute force would probably cause injury. Meal told her she'd better not come here. He's worried about infecting her. The heroine touched his forehead. Said it's a bit better than morning, as long as he rests well. As a result, Meal took her hand down, said she can't do such things to a servant. The heroine was dissatisfied. Even he wants her to follow some princess etiquette, since he's already called a villainess by those people. Following rules again is wasted effort. But he didn't mean that. He feels she is really too good as servants. He will misunderstand. The heroine was a bit surprised. She treats her servants however she wants. Meal already knows she is this kind of person, but he can no longer suppress his feelings. So he said, please go out. She has more important matters. Don't waste too much time on a servant like him. The heroine turned and looked at him once, then was shut outside the door. Really can't believe it. She was kicked out by her own servant. Is he in a bad mood because he's sick? Afternoon, call someone to send some supplements to him. Meal lost control because he was sick. His mind was full of thoughts he shouldn't have. Clearly just a servant. Shouldn't have those presumptuous thoughts. Even this handkerchief is hers. He was marked by her. Everything of his belongs to her. Only this adoration that cannot see the light belongs to himself. Grand Justice's mansion. The master has been waiting for her for a long time. She's going to see a very serious grandpa. He is this country's most important judge. The heroine said if someone did bad things, he decides how many lashes to whip the bad person. But Lily just be like usual. That grandpa isn't a fierce person. Grand Justice Mathieu Douglas is a man born to judge sin. In his heart, the distinction between good and evil is above all else. In the past life, it was also he who brought down the gavel, sentencing her to lifetime exile. Among all the nobles she invited this time, but he was also the first to return. All 3 letters. Seeing her, Matthew bowed politely. Lily also greeted politely. He saw and reminded Her Highness, the holy beast is not suitable to be brought out of the palace. She should receive protection in a safe place. Contact more with royal blood. The heroine told him not to worry. She brought enough manpower for guards. Please sit. She came today, wanting to ask in person why he refused to attend Lily's full moon banquet. Matthew expressed. He already wrote in the reply that he is unwell. Didn't want to use a sickly appearance to disturb Her Highness's banquet. If she says, is the judge the person she most wanted to invite? If he could bless Lily, that she would have a soul as fair and just as his. But Matthew rejected her, said he has a more suitable candidate. The heroine stood up and said his room's fire is too hot. She's going to the balcony for some air. Lily is still small and easily gets sick, so trouble him to play with her in the room for a while. Matthew said, is this appropriate? The heroine's expression changed. Could it be he opposes even such a small thing? This princess. The heroine went out for air. The argument earlier was just a performance. Everything was agreed upon between her and Lily beforehand. Lily is willing to help her. Past life, on her brother's frame-up, she would have been sentenced to hanging. But the Grand Justice persuaded other nobles to change the sentence to exile. His reason surprised her. Princess Martina was in prison, yet still held the holy beast's corpse tightly, sufficient to prove she didn't intentionally murder the holy beast. He always detested her arrogant behavior. Why speak for her in the end? Until when she was in exile, passed by a small village, saw a woman calling a child back. If not back, soon Grandpa Matthew will be angry. Turns out the Grand Justice in many poor villages built orphanages, raising homeless children. Although he is a serious and old-fashioned noble, he likes children very much. Lily remembered Mama's teaching. Asked the old grandpa like before why he had a long face. He can touch Lily's head. People who like her all touch her head. The holy beast, raised by Her Highness the Princess, is actually so frank and friendly. It seems the rumors of Her Highness the Princess and the holy beast getting along well, that are not false rumors. Lily told him, don't hesitate. Mama said Lily's head is the best to touch in the world. Matthew smiled and said what her mama said is true. That's right. This is her real goal. To make the stubborn Grand Justice stand directly on her side is impossible. But getting him to acknowledge Lily would be very helpful for his future actions. His Excellency Matthew won't give up. Hopefully, they will have another chance to sit down and talk later. Lily says goodbye to Grandpa. Matthew also bids them farewell. Only after they left did Matthew reveal his true expression. He really likes Lily. His Majesty the Emperor and the Empress have invited Her Highness to dinner. Meffel was also at this dinner. His Majesty said, this is a rare, warm family dinner. Lynn takes Lily back to the room. If she comes back late, she should coax her sleep first, before she prepares for Lily's full moon banquet. A sudden family gathering is called. Is it because of the refusal to marry into Sithning last time? Or is Meffel up to something again? In short, it definitely can't be anything good, because as the most noble royal family of the Moran Empire, Her family is a suffocating hell. Her father, Gardner Moran, is a cold politician. To win over the Southern nobles, he married the daughter of a great noble, her mother. Her mother, Isabel Moran, was a weak noble girl. She married harboring fantasies of love, only to receive her husband's indifference. She thought if she became a perfect empress, she would receive affection. So she desperately learned the rules and was cautious. She educated her and Mephil just as strictly. It's funny to say, but that was when she and Mephil were closest. Mephil saw her. She was already getting sleepy. Mephil would tell Mother she was sleepy and take her for a walk in the library. Mephil led her to the library by the hand. Actually, she had already seen through it. Brother just didn't want to read books. He didn't want to play with her. Mephil hurriedly told her to keep her voice down. Since his clever sister discovered it, he would play with her for a while. Mephil wants to play hide-and-seek with her in the library. Library hide-and-seek is a game she and Mephil often play because they're always locked in the library by Mother to study. So she invented this game. The person hiding has to pick a book, put a note inside, and hide the book on any shelf in the library. The seeker has to ask a question. The note contains the answer to the question. The question she wanted to ask was, why is Mephil her brother? Mephil was speechless, because Mother gave birth to him first, so of course he is the older brother. But she said coyly, brothers in stories are very gentle. Why does he always bully me? Why is my brother such an annoying guy? Mephil felt he was also unlucky to have a willful sister. She walked away in anger. Mephil hurriedly coaxed her back. He answered seriously, don't throw a tantrum. If you win, I'll buy you your favorite dress. If you find a book I hid, you win. If you haven't found it before the break ends, I win. She has many beautiful dresses. She just wanted to win against Mephil. She finally found the book, but it was too high to reach. Mephil walked over at this moment and asked if she needed help. She refused Mephil. He clearly put it up high on purpose. But Mephil said if she begged him, he would help her, and he would count it as her win. She hated Mephil so much. Or she could choose to admit defeat. He is her brother. He won't punish her. That game of hide-and-seek ended unsettled. She didn't admit defeat nor beg him. She kicked him hard and ran back to make a scene with Mother. Because of bullying his sister and breaking rules, both Mephil and she were punished by copying books. What exactly was written on the note in that book? She was curious, but never went to look again. They were already waiting. Mephil was there too. Father said several ministers reported to him that she has become approachable recently. He was very happy to hear this. As a princess, this is a very good quality. She is now the guardian of a holy beast and should show the qualities of an heir. Father must have done the same back then. Very good. He always felt she was a daughter worthy of his pride. Father attaches great importance to winning over nobles. As long as she makes him feel she can win more support for the royal family, he won't condemn her directly. In her past life, she showed no mercy to nobles she disliked and had no subordinates of her own. At that time, no one spoke for her. In this royal family, there are only relationships of utilization and calculation. Mother is used to win over the southern nobles. Mephil and she are used to display the royal family's benevolence. They must be like toy dolls, always showing standard smiles. That's why she and Mephil became what they are now. Father brought up the marriage alliance and told her to get ready. He heard she is still busy with the Holy Beast's full moon banquet. Martina smiled and spoke her thoughts directly, rejecting the marriage. Mephil smiled on the side. For nearly 100 years, we have been at odds with the Scything Empire. Marriage is an excellent opportunity to repair relations between the two countries. Does she want to destroy this great opportunity? Martina looked at him. Their eye contact crackled with sparks. Martina told him to go himself. Father said the Scything Empire only has 4 princes. He guessed she was worried that after marrying into Scything, the Holy Beast would have no one to care for it. He has already considered this for her. Isabel, bring them in. Martina stood up directly. Martina and Mephil, these are your holy beasts. They found a magic that can turn holy beasts into human form. So don't worry about the holy beasts. They will live very well here with her. Go get married obediently. They want to use Lily to threaten her into marriage. What magic did they use on Lily? Why did Lily become like this? Martina, look how well-behaved they are. She will take good care of them. She and her brother should listen to Father and serve the country. She will treat them like her own grandchildren. Brother's holy beast is called Siegfried. It's a very heroic name. The 2 children had no reaction at all, as if they were being controlled. Did Mephil know about this? He actually has such a foul expression. It seems Father and Mother's move. That was not told to him beforehand. In that case, maybe she can use this. Martina sat down and said with a smile, "Since Mother will take care of the holy beasts, I am relieved. But holy beasts turning into humans is a first in Moran's history. Shouldn't this miracle be made public to the people? Their common stance is to protect their holy beasts. This matter must be exposed. Only by disclosing it to the nobles and citizens can they ensure the holy beasts aren't tampered with." She has already signaled Mephil. If he is smart, he should know what she means. All right, then let's make it public. Publicize the fact that two holy beasts turned into humans on the same day. Otherwise, his cunning sister would probably go around spreading that she did it before him. Father said this idea is not bad. He will consider it. However, only after they have done what they are supposed to do. They're the royal family of the Moran Empire. Their lives, dignity, and fate can only be used for the Moran Empire. If you want to obtain the right of inheritance, dedicate your last drop of blood to the Empire. Martina wanted to call Lily, but she had no reaction. Mephil walked up to her and said, "They must have used black magic. Our father is capable of anything. In his heart, holy beasts are just tools to help him wipe out power. Martina needs to talk to him." At night, the two held wine glasses on the tower. Today's scene reminded him of things from their childhood. Mephil felt it was truly rare that she would reminisce with him. If she didn't want to talk, there was no need to respond to his signal earlier. He knew what she was saying. She was talking about when they were exchanged by father as hostages when they were young. At that time, they were about the same age as the current holy beasts. She was a bit smaller, still a little turnip head. At that time, several great nobles in the east rebelled jointly, catching the Moran Empire off guard. Father negotiated peace with the nobles on the surface, but was secretly organizing the army, wanting to wipe out the other side in one fell swoop. After Father sent them as hostages, they were locked in a stable for over a year. That smell really made one want to vomit. Some shitty noble probably thought he had won for sure and completely disregarded the negotiation treaty, wanted to take her away. It's ridiculous. She just got cut by a horseshoe fragment by him and ran out howling. Why doesn't she remember when she lost face? She got a high fever. She had a fever in the horse stall every day. It was he who got on good terms with the groom and begged for medicine for her. At that time, they rarely spoke because speaking too much made them hungry. They were like two unwanted wild dogs. When Father finally won, he thought they were already dead. Unfortunately, they are both still alive. She doesn't want the holy beasts to be hostages too. She wants them to save the children together. But then, what benefit can he get from helping her? Martina looked at the wine in her cup and said, "You are my only brother. The only one I can rely on is you." However, her chin was pinched. Mephil said she really knows how to act. Say directly what you want. Say in advance. Don't bring up boring jokes like asking me to give up inheritance. Mephil wants the Kylan territory in her hands. Martina agreed, but while she goes to discuss the marriage, he must bring the holy beasts out as soon as possible. The two reached a cooperation. Mephil smiled and said, "Congratulations on us becoming family again. My dear sister." Mephil is completely untrustworthy. This move can only stall him temporarily, so he doesn't attack her when Father forces her to marry. But she still doesn't know what to do about the marriage. As a result, she opened the door and found Meal injured. Her Highness told him to take the holy beast back to the room. But not long after, Her Majesty the Empress brought people to take the holy beast away. Her Majesty brought a dozen guards. They couldn't stop them. Lord Meal wanted to snatch the holy beast back, but was injured by the other side instead. Lynn, Louise, go down first. Is the injury serious? Let me see. Meal wanted to push her away. A noble imperial princess shouldn't look at a male's body. But she didn't care. She had seen others anyway. Meal was stunned after hearing that. He said he was inappropriate, just her servant. Now she is very worried about Lily. Martina answered his doubts and told him what just happened. Now she can only join hands with Mephil. Meal said he was too useless. Is that why she went to beg that person? Martina was surprised at what stupid things he was saying. Meal fell into deep self-blame. He couldn't protect Lily well. He didn't know why he was sitting here. That mercenary could definitely stop the Empress's guards. That mage could also cure Lily's illness. Yet he's like a waste. Martina slapped him directly after hearing this. She didn't want to hear such words anymore. He has already dedicated everything to her. She doesn't need anything else. But he wants to be more useful to her. He doesn't want to see her sad, and yet be unable to do anything. But at the same time, he also felt sorry about this. She must be very sad right now. He shouldn't have said these things and withdrew first. And she lowered her eyes in disappointment. He is clearly very useful. He has been very useful since childhood. When she was lost in childhood, Meal would notice. He would also ask about her situation, but she always swatted him away. Meal would smile and tell her stories. He would tell many stories and would always stay by her side. Why has he become someone she doesn't recognize? Empress's palace. The two children have fallen asleep. Gardener, do you want to see them? He said he wasn't interested, and he blamed her for not raising the children well. The holy beasts are very important. She must look after them carefully. Don't bring shame to his family. A few days later, the second prince of Sithning came to visit the Moran Empire. His name is Nosa. He is Ryan's second brother. He brought a convoy and gifts with great fanfare. He came to the palace in the name of a friendly visit. He doesn't look like Ryan at all. Ryan wouldn't dress like a Christmas tree either. Wonder where Ryan is now. Gave him an invitation last time, but he hasn't come to see her once. At night, father held a reception banquet. At the banquet, Nosa invited her to meet privately. This is strange. He didn't make a marriage request during the public visit, but invited her privately like this. But this situation is favorable for her. If he wants to start by getting closer, then the marriage doesn't seem to be set in stone. So she was happy to communicate with him. Nosa praised that she wasn't like the rumors. She is so gentle and beautiful. Those rumors must be jealousy of her. Meffel heard this from the side and let out a cold laugh. She just smiled and said it must be despicable people jealous of her. Let's stop here. He bought a manor in the suburbs as a temporary resting place. Hoped to have the chance to invite her to visit later. Thinking about meeting her again, his heart was full of joy. But Nosa doesn't meet her criteria for absorbing energy. She thought to herself, clearly a prince, but a straw bag. Your Highness, the weather this afternoon is very suitable for a date. Which one do you want to wear? But she didn't want any of them. She just wanted something simpler. If it weren't for Lily being in father's hands, she wouldn't have agreed to the second prince's invitation. These things cannot be told to the maids. Before, she discussed them with Meal, but after the quarrel last time, he rarely appeared in front of her. Thinking of it, she kicked the table in anger. As a result, her toe got hurt. Imperial City streets. She went out. This is an underground auction house. There will be many powerful things that cannot see the light. He heard about this good place as soon as he came to your noble country. As a prince, he is tired of the obvious fun. He prefers to enjoy some pleasures that lead to hell. Nobles here mostly wear masks, and commoners who want to try their luck here usually show their faces. With him, he guarantees she will get endless pleasure. But she heard that the Emperor of Sithning dislikes nobles indulging in pleasure. Is he not worried about his majesty flying into a rage by doing this? Don't worry about that. I will protect you. As long as you are sincere to me, why care about others' opinions? While speaking, he pulled her hair. He hates clumsy people. He is going to the washroom to tidy up. He will wait for her in box number 1. Take this. The servant will lead her there. She has understood. Nosa is a waste who loves to play. The prince is not favored in Sithning and wants to improve his status by marrying into our country. But he is not a pillar of the state. Marrying him only temporarily eases relations between the two countries. It expands father's power. But marrying an incompetent husband will instead make her a pawn. Didn't expect Phoenix to be here too. No need to lead the way. She will go to box number 1 herself. The next auction item is a level 3 treasure. Magic gold amber produced in the magic forest. Starting price, 3,000 gold coins. Soon he started bidding. Martina quietly walked to his side. If it were me, I wouldn't join the price hike at this time. It's best to observe the opponent's increase now. Phoenix told her not to meddle. Heard that here, commoners not covering their faces means they accept selection by nobles. Did you think I thought that way? There's such a rule. The person who introduced him didn't tell him. He thought for a moment and asked, does this noble sister also fancy me? But I am a mage. Very expensive. Martina held back a smile. How expensive? She is just a viscount's daughter. She doesn't have much money. Knowing she has no money, Phoenix quickly moved away from her. Want to play the sugar mommy game? Go find other cheap goods. He is just a commoner, yet dares to look down on a viscount. Phoenix told her to use her brain. Only the smartest people in this country can learn magic. It's almost reaching his expected maximum price. His savings are only this much. Martina rang the bell for him directly and said she bids 4,500 gold coins. Phoenix felt she was crazy. He whispered, here, Once you shout a price, you can't withdraw it. You raised it so much in one breath. If others raise the price again, I can't afford it. And if not successful, she doesn't mind. She is so smart. She will always find a way to get it later. He thought she would ask him to accompany her. In the end, they won the bid. This kind of gem is also popular among nobles. She has seen it many times. The ceiling price for 3 gems is 4,500 gold coins. The people competing with you for the gems are 3 nobles. They are also familiar with the price of gems. So when she shouted the ceiling price of 4,500 gold coins, but they wouldn't bid blindly anymore. How about it? Nobles' brains aren't completely useless, right? And at this moment, Phoenix took her hand and kissed it. His side profile was slightly blushing. Sorry for yelling at you earlier. This kiss is an apology and a thank you gift. Is that okay? With this gem, my magic research can take a big step forward. He's going to pay. Ask Martina to wait here. He is completely a mage. As long as someone helps his magic research, he will trust them. Being with him makes her mood better. Where did that imperial princess in the front row box go? What a troublesome woman. If she left the auction, his subordinates would report. She should still be inside the auction venue. She doesn't seem to like the marriage. She makes him very annoyed. Gotta find something interesting. Are there slave auctions today? There are 3. 2 are Naya women with rare platinum blonde hair. 1 is a barbarian from the western jungle. Male, powerful strength, very suitable for fighting performances. He booked them all at the highest price. By the way, he doesn't like slaves who scream randomly. Cut off their tongues. Strange. Phoenix went to pay and get the gems. Why hasn't he returned for so long? Phoenix's side wasn't going smoothly. He won the magic gold amber and had enough gold coins, but they didn't give it to him. Magic gold amber is a level 3 treasure. They don't sell treasures above level 3 to commoners. The auction host never mentioned this rule. This is clearly something he made up on the spot. The boss is bullying people. He just doesn't want to sell to him. At the same time, his collar was grabbed. Called servants to beat him out. Phoenix took a punch directly. His face was injured. Unknown when Martina was already standing behind him. She whispered to him, "I'll help you buy the gems." The boss saw her and thought she was Phoenix's accomplice. I've seen people pretending to be nobles many times. Martina heard his mockery, but still told him to take back those words. Sell the gems to him, or his auction house won't be kept. Phoenix dragged her away, said no need to help him. He won't bow to them. In a corner backstage, Martina helped him treat the wound, asked why he didn't let her help buy it just now. If he can't buy it, what about his magic research? He said he has other ways. He also cared that he dirted her handkerchief. He'll wash it clean and return it. Then he put it in his inner pocket. Phoenix asked if it really doesn't matter for her to stay with him. Martina indicated she came alone, saying that Phoenix asked, "It doesn't matter if I do something bad, right?" Then he started using fire. He told Martina to blow a breath at it. Martina did so. With the wind, the fire drifted elsewhere. Phoenix explained this as fake fire made of magic. It won't really burn things. Soon flames rose all around. Everyone fled in all directions. He doesn't want to sell to me. Just as well, I don't want to spend money to buy it. This young lady, can I invite you to dance in the fire? The auction people went to evacuate the nobles. While no one is here now, they take the stuff and leave quickly. But facing the fire, she was still a bit afraid. Phoenix smiled. Smart eldest Miss hasn't gotten used to fake fire yet. It's her first time seeing this kind of magic. It's normal to be afraid. He taught her how to play with him. Although fake fire cannot be touched, it is composed of magic elements in the air. So as long as it senses the fluctuation of the air, fun things will happen. They look like fireflies floating in the air. Martina felt very happy. Thank him very much. Phoenix looked at her smile and was a bit stunned. After reacting, he said, "Finding gems doesn't need the eldest Miss's help. You play for a while. Once I find a magic gold amber, we leave." Phoenix started rummaging around, thinking this noble miss is actually very friendly. She has been helping him, and the way she smiles is really cute. No. What is he thinking about? He is here to find magic gold amber for. That magic materials. Found it. He turned his head and called the eldest miss to leave. His eyes couldn't help but widen. Her face was full of sorrow. Phoenix asked her what was wrong. She said there is someone very important to her. He is in danger. Just now she was thinking if only he could see these fireflies. Phoenix didn't want to see her look sad. Just for a moment, he felt she looked like that person. But that person's status is noble. How could she appear here alone? If it were that person, his offense would probably get him whipped. He wiped away her tears. He really hoped the 2 people here today were just a commoner mage and a viscount's daughter. Don't cry. I'll take you to play more things. When you cry, I feel like I'm an idiot. No complex magic can stop me. But how to make your tears disappear? This matter has stumped me. Found those two thieves. Dare to use magic to disrupt my auction. I will chop them up to compensate for my losses. And that masked woman. Phoenix blocked him and said, don't touch her. She is a real noble lady. Then turned his head and told her to take the chance to escape. The eldest Mrs. Reputation is very important. At worst, he gets caught and beaten up. Guard were already rushing up. Don't even think about running. She had a sigh, took off the mask, revealed her true appearance, stated her identity, asked who dares to be disrespectful in front of her. Even so, they still didn't believe it. Said she was impersonating the imperial princess. But someone has seen the portrait of the imperial princess. Fiery red hair and gray eyes. He recognized her. Phoenix was surprised why she was here. Martina said it was a coincidence. Holding a private underground auction is already illegal. Refusing to sell after a guest wins the bid is the crime of fraud. With his crimes, even beheading wouldn't be excessive. But she happened to need some intelligence on underground dealings. Did he know what to do? When the time comes, send someone to the imperial palace. Hand the intelligence to her secretary. Just say it's a new dress she bought. Take the opportunity to bring the auction's revenue under her control. This trip was worth it. Your Highness, he thought she was in danger and was looking for her. Turns out she found a new lover. Why is he here? Phoenix asked Her Highness what the lover thing was about. This wasn't in the sponsorship agreement. He is only 18. If she wants him to be a lover, she has to pay more. This is a misunderstanding by Nosa. But she just happens to need him to act along with her. Don't talk too much. Just follow by her side. Then Martina leaned close to Phoenix, saying he is a very talented young man. He has been by her side for a long time. It is normal for royalty to have lovers. The second prince should be able to understand, right? Of course, he doesn't mind at all. Their interests are very similar. After marriage, they will surely get along well. The auction has been disturbed. Why doesn't he invite the two to the casino to relax? He thinks it will be more interesting with 3 people. Then let's go take a look. They soon arrived beside the carriage. Phoenix said it was getting late. Please hold his hand to get on the carriage. This way is safer. He was intentionally fishing for information just now. She indeed has many lovers and takes pride in it. Now he really doesn't want to have any contact with her. At this moment, a hand cut in, saying the second prince is truly thoughtful, and pushed the person back a bit, saying it's a pity His Highness is only used to his service. Others would make her feel uncomfortable. Nosa smiled. Her Highness has a loyal lover. Martina turned back and smiled, saying she has many people as loyal as this. He had better get used to it in advance. On the carriage, he wondered how he knew to block him for her. Phoenix said that in front of someone one is interested in, one wouldn't say they have several lovers, right? Just now he mentioned marriage. Are they going to form a political alliance? That guy has a disgusting aura. Being with him is worse than being with her. Realizing this, he noticed he misspoke. Because of that fragile expression she had earlier, he forgot he just wanted to earn a bit more research funding from her. Your Highness, since he performed well just now, is there any possibility of a bonus? Martina smiled, thinking of getting a bonus just for that. Tricking money out of her hand isn't that easy. Phoenix leaned directly close to her, asking if this was enough. Martina's eyes widened. His face was really beautiful. Sister, at a time like this, you should close your eyes, right? Martina cooperated obediently. When with him, she always forgets those troubles. Is this also his magic? Phoenix thought, why is she so cooperative? It makes him really want to kiss her. Just as he wanted to say something, Martina had already turned her head, saying something was wrong. Phoenix instantly boiled over. He didn't react. He asked what was wrong. Her subordinates are gone. The people driving the carriage and guarding now have changed to Nosa's men. This isn't the road to the casino either. His previous sponsor had taken him there. Phoenix wanted to take her and run. It would be a bit strenuous for him to deal with him alone, but he could try. Martina heard this and smiled. If he escapes now, it will bring them bigger trouble. He is just a selfish and cunning little genius. There is a safe in the Magic Tower's warehouse. Inside are things prepared for him. He should run away alone. Those things will help him finish his magic research faster. Phoenix didn't speak. The Imperial Palace, Your Highness. He has already investigated clearly. His Majesty the Emperor made the holy beasts turn into human forms using a forbidden potion. This potion was researched by 3 high-level mages of the Magic Tower. It is said they were researching this potion 30 years ago. It was just too evil and would shorten the holy beasts' lives, so this potion had been sealed away. 30 years ago, Father hadn't inherited the throne yet, so he started sending people to research this potion back then. But he succeeded to the throne smoothly and didn't use the potion. Instead, he kept the potion until now to use it to control his own children. Well done. People have also been placed on the Empress's side. Mother still doesn't allow him to approach the holy beasts, watching those two children from afar outside the door. That little girl looks so much like her, Martina. He really wants to make her turn into this obedient appearance too. Are geniuses always lonely? Brother, they say he can do anything. His family stove is broken. He has eaten cold bread for several days. This is his favorite candy. Can he fix his family's stove? Phoenix just wanted to agree. The boy's mother walked over, telling him not to be so rude to the mage lord. A mage only appears in the village once every few hundred years. Giving such cheap goods is too disrespectful. Her child is still young. He didn't mean to offend him. Such a small matter as a stove doesn't need the mage lord to worry about. The people in the village treat him very well. They revere him and worship him, treating him as the glory of the village. But there is a huge hole in his heart. He told himself, yes, geniuses are always lonely. This is his destiny, studying alone, moving forward alone. He is already used to this life, used to winning alone. The noble students treat him as a stumbling block. Only magic is his friend. He is also used to enduring pain alone. Even when beaten, he says nothing. The sponsor told him to endure these whips, and he gets gold coins. He was unwilling. He was supposed to have magical talent. Why is it him? It doesn't matter if he is alone. It doesn't matter if he puts out fires for himself. She was right. In this world, only she saw through him. Your Highness sees through his tricks every time. It's really no fun. Martina told him to run quickly. The second prince's target is her. Nosa will care about the relationship between the two countries and won't act rashly. She's always so smart, always helping him. He said he would go first. She always acts calm and mature. She told him to be careful. She can't help him if he quarrels with nobles anymore. He will return to the magic tower, find the magic materials left for him, continue doing research alone. Become the person standing at the pinnacle of mages alone. Because geniuses are destined to be lonely. But why did she show that look? Whenever he thinks of it, he can't leave. She gave him a reason to fight against loneliness. Martina, he doesn't want to be alone anymore. He wants to stay by her side. Early next morning, Imperial Palace, Martina's room, still no trace of her highness. Following her route, people have been sent to quickly search the capital once. No one has seen her after leaving the auction house. Then expand the search range. Search outside the city too. There is no reaction from His Majesty's side either. This is not a good sign. Lewis said to Lord Meal, he is still sick. He hasn't slept all night. Should he rest a bit? He and Lynn won't slack off. Lynn said, let him be. He will put his life on the line for matters concerning Her Highness. Suddenly the window outside made a loud noise. Phoenix rushed in saying, he knows where she is. Meal rushed over and asked if she was safe. He said she was taken away by the second prince, but he placed magic to track the location. Meal understood his meaning. That means he was by Her Highness's side, yet let her be taken away. Phoenix said, watch your words. Mr. Secretary, he knows he hates him. He hates any man who can get close to her, but now only he knows her whereabouts. He can only endure it. Suburbs of the capital. Her little lover took out quite a few of his men. In order not to let her be snatched back by him, could only make him quiet for a bit. Next day, Martina slowly opened her eyes. She found herself in a strange place. She was kidnapped by Nosa yesterday. This should be his residence. He actually had the guts to do such a thing. As soon as she opened the door, she found Nosa standing in front of her. He asked how Martina slept. She looks truly beautiful in this dress. The size should be perfectly fitting. However, before he finished speaking, he was slapped. Martina looked displeased. He changed her clothes? Who allowed him to do this? She finally understands the evaluation of him by people of her country. He is simply like a bloodthirsty red spider. She doesn't seem to understand her situation. Since he dared to do this, there must be a reason. The emperor of her country, that is her father. He gave him a promise. Martina understood that father betrayed her. The imperial princess of a foreign country is certainly noble, but in the face of greater power transactions, she is just a piece of precious cargo that can be bought and sold. This Naya tribe woman is also cargo of the auction house. The Naya tribe has platinum-like hair. Perhaps she is also a chief's daughter. Martina said, even if he has a deal with father, he cannot control her. She can commit suicide at any time. Nosa was displeased. She resists marrying him this much that she would rather die. Martina threatened that he could try. Nosa was very displeased. This woman, he will serve her for these few days. He gives her 10 days to consider. He doesn't have that much patience. Martina paced back and forth in the room. So it was father, no wonder. No wonder Nosa invited her so quickly. No wonder the kidnapping went so smoothly on the way. For profit, father went to this extent. At this time, the maid beside her grabbed her, gesturing as if wanting to say something. She cannot speak. Her tongue was cut out. Martina was even more angry after seeing this. This scum. She seems to want to write something to show her. But she is from a foreign tribe. Seems she can't write text. Can only draw. Her clothes were changed by them. Don't worry. In this situation, there is still someone caring about her. Really thank her. The girl smiled and shed tears. Even strangers would care about her. Her biological father, however, sold her to a man from another country. She thought she wouldn't be sad about this rotten home anymore. 3 days later, she ate and left, saying the food was really terrible. Nosa was puzzled. Strange. He prepared the food according to her taste. But he has a guest today, wondering if she wants to meet him together. Martina expressed she didn't want to talk to him. It all makes her feel nauseous. These past few days, she walked through this villa. There is absolutely no chance to escape. This villa seems to be in the far suburbs of the capital. There are no houses around. Looking out from the window, outside the villa, there are man-eating squads patrolling at all times. And inside the villa, Nosa's slaves are everywhere. These slaves have been beaten into fear by him. They dare not disobey him in the slightest. He noticed her passing by, turned his head to look at her, as if saying if she doesn't agree to the marriage alliance, her end will be like this woman. Don't know how Lily is doing now. Meal and the others must be worried sick. Otherwise, pretend to agree to Nosa's marriage alliance. Then take the opportunity to escape. No, he won't believe a verbal promise. He definitely prepared documents for her to sign. Does she really have a way to escape? Outside, it sounds like Nosa's guest has arrived. That person is saying a rebellion has appeared in the country. Father summoned them to return to the country. This is Ryan's voice. So the guest Nosa mentioned is Ryan. Ryan is Nosa's younger brother. How did she forget this matter? Ryan seemed to sense something and looked up. Martina looked at him in surprise. The two made eye contact just like that. Nosa introduced from the side. This is the imperial princess of the Moran Empire, Her Highness Martina. The Emperor of Moran has already promised the marriage alliance between him and her. She is his fiancée, his sister-in-law. Martina walked down. She wanted to ask Ryan for help, but also not be discovered by Nosa that they know each other. If Nosa starts to suspect him, then he will definitely increase the guards here. Then it will be even harder to escape. So she pretended not to know Ryan, turned around and left directly, then sat on the sofa, wanted to learn about their family members. Nosa appeared very happy, answering Martina's words while asking his brother to sit down and chat together. Ryan knew she was his brother's fiancée. His heart was filled with doubts. How many mysteries are wrapped around her? Why is Ryan staring at her like this? Don't let him lose control and go mad like last time. Then her only hope would be gone. Ryan is very smart. He doesn't want to expose that they know each other, listening to him first. The three of them all harbored hidden thoughts and acted. Nosa said no need to avoid Martina. Ryan began to speak. He received a hiring task from Sithning. It turned out to be a great noble wanting to hire a bodyguard. But when that person saw him, he was so scared he couldn't speak. That noble thought Ryan was sent by his father to crusade against him. He refused the noble's employment, returned to the Sithning Imperial Palace, and met father. He doesn't have much military power now. Need us to go back and help him. He has already notified Nosa's other two brothers, asking him to return to the country quickly. Nosa didn't care at all after hearing this. Even told Ryan not to be anxious. In the previous life, Ryan returned to the country during this time. He suppressed the rebellion in Sithning. Only then did he become a general. His calm and serious look now really gives the feeling of the future god of war. In the previous life, Martina had also met him. Ryan was still persuading Nosa, begging him to go back as a younger brother. Nosa revealed a trace of disdain hearing this. He doesn't acknowledge this brother and mocked Ryan's mother as a low-class woman from an enemy country. Of course, before he finished speaking, Ryan attacked directly. This is Ryan's sore spot. Even if he was pinned down on the table, his mouth still didn't stop, saying the Sithning Empire has long fallen apart. Let him go save father alone. Ryan had already seen through. He is forming a marriage alliance with an enemy country's imperial princess, finding a way out for himself, completely using Martina. The two were entangled. From this angle now, Nosa can't see her. Only this chance. Martina came to his side, quietly said, "Save me." Ryan was a bit surprised. Nosa was shouting loudly there for people to come. Kick him out. Soon they were surrounded by knights on all sides. Martina and Ryan exchange a glance. Everything was understood without words. She actively proposed to see Ryan off. Between relatives, it's better not to make things so stiff. Nosa allowed her to send him to the door. Arriving at the door, she said politely, "Hope today's matter doesn't affect his mood." Nosa was already a bit chaotic, but there was only one thing. He was very sure of his own thoughts, wanted to go further with her. Even at the risk of being suspected by Nosa, Martina also needed this kiss, because she must know Lily's situation. Inside the Imperial Palace, Mother worriedly asked, "Drink, can this really make them healthy?" The children just didn't speak before. The last few nights they have been shaking and sweating cold sweat. Mephil explained this is concentrated magical energy. He had been feeding this to Siegfried before. They are magical creatures. Forcing them to turn into humans consumes excessive energy. That's why they couldn't even speak. Saying this, he shouted, "Wake up, Siegfried." Let his consciousness slowly awaken. His first sentence was disdain. Mephil woke himself up. Mother saw the effect was not bad. Wanted to use it for Lily too. But Mephil refused. A mage diagnosed the magic in Lily's body. Very mysterious. Completely different from what he uses. At this time, Mephil wanted to stay alone with the holy beast for a while. Mother avoided them for now, incidentally getting some food. The awakened Siegfried curiously sniffed the girl beside him. Mephil introduced to him that this is his sister. Their eggs were born at the same time. The sister has the same blood flowing as him, is the only relative in the world. Lily, who was still dazed, suddenly woke up. She looked around the strange environment in panic. Didn't understand where this was. But she recognized the man in front of her. He is the person Mama hates the most. So Lily also hates him. The crying noise made Mephil have a headache. He picked her up and comforted her. But Lily ignored him at all. Siegfried felt it was so troublesome. Mephil said sisters are all like this. Soon Lily's emotions stabilized. He helped Lily wipe her snot, saying recently Martina is not here. He is helping to take care temporarily. Then he fished for words from Lily's mouth. Learned that a force entered her heart. That's why she woke up. Lily didn't know why. He also had a smell very similar to Mama's on him. But now she only wants Mama. Mephil told Lily not to worry. She should be living very well now. Martina has already fallen into his trap. Her submission last time wasn't enough. Mephil wants to watch her yielding appearance. Ryan left Nosa's residence. Now, Ryan fell into silence. He couldn't believe that Martina was actually entering a marriage alliance with Nosa. Moreover, the thought of her marrying someone else and having children with them made his heart ache wildly. The thought of her marrying his brother. If they were to just kiss, his heart wouldn't be able to take it, and he would faint directly on the ground. Martina watched Ryan fall from a distance, suspecting his bloodline disease had flared up. It would be dangerous for him to stay outside like that, so she reminded Nosa that his guests seemed to be in trouble. Nosa didn't care at all. People on the ground slowly spoke of siphoning. The Imperial family has a hereditary snowstorm disease. Ryan inherited a lot from his father, but his mother was a noble from another country who eloped. So even though he resembles his father the most, no one ever expected him to inherit the throne. The royal nobles enjoyed watching him suffer during his episodes, watching his sorrowful pleas for help without extending a hand. Martina couldn't listen anymore. Nosa truly made her feel disgusted. For Martina's sake, he wouldn't let his brother die at the door. But he could only endure so much. The time he could delay the wedding was running out. He even threatened Martina that if she didn't make up her mind soon, he would make her his wife right now. Night fell, and Martina quietly slipped out. Fortunately, Nosa had locked Ryan in the basement. She knew his servant's passage to get there. She felt some guilt toward Ryan. If she hadn't been reborn, Nosa wouldn't have come for the alliance, and Ryan wouldn't have needed to come to persuade Nosa to return home. In her previous life at this time, he had already become the Guardian General in Sifning. I hope he becomes a great pillar of the nation, just like in the previous life. In the dungeon, I found him. I touched his forehead. He had a fever. Nosa actually let him lie in the basement like this. I planned to get him some water and a blanket, hoping he could sleep more comfortably. Ryan regained a bit of consciousness. Looking at the person before him, he suspected he was dreaming. Whenever his detestable disease flared up, he would faint from the pain and then dream of things he had never seen. But this time, the dream was as clear as if it were actually happening, especially when someone stepped forward and called out "General," saying that woman was following their army again. Ryan wanted to see for himself. He didn't actually understand why the general was doing this. If he liked the woman, he should keep her. If not, he should drive her away. Ryan, dissatisfied, told the person to shut up and grabbed a set of soldiers' clothes. In the dream, he had become the general of Sithning. In the border region, he was fighting against the rebellious Duke of Flanders. But strangely, a destitute woman was always following behind his army. After investigating, he discovered she was actually an exiled princess of the Moran Empire. She seemed to be pursued, which is why she followed the army. Because no one dared approach his army, the woman would be safer. She was bold and smart, so Ryan began to pay attention to her. Afraid she would be scared, he always dressed as an ordinary soldier to see her. Martina asked if he would get scolded for always bringing her food. He said these were all scraps, and it didn't matter. If he hadn't brought food to Martina, she might have starved to death long ago. The bread in front of her looked like a donut, making her feel very happy. Ryan was even given the title God of Donuts. She said that providing what someone needs when they are suffering is the act of a god. Ryan looked at her with some emotion. She was clearly once a noble imperial princess, yet she could persevere in this situation and even smile for a piece of bread. His heart, which had been numbed by war, seemed to start beating again because of her. As he thought about it, his illness flared up. This is a hereditary disease that his father also had. He didn't understand why his parents loved each other so much, but didn't have a good end. Everyone said love was the madness in his father's mind, and he was a child born cursed. The princess interrupted his self-deprecation and held his hand, saying, "My happiness today was brought by you. You can bring happiness and warmth to others. Who says you are cursed? They must be the biggest fools in the world." Ryan was somewhat moved after hearing this. He would remember those words forever. But the battle with the Duke of Flanders grew more intense. He didn't have time to see her often and could only secretly send people to protect her. He knew the princess seemed to be looking for something and also knew she cherished the pod in her arms. But he wanted to know more. The general had been too tired lately and had been sick for several days. In fact, he brought the princess to take care of him. At that time, Martina finally learned he wasn't an ordinary soldier. Martina came to help him lie down slowly on the bed. Martina was puzzled. He was clearly a general, so why did he dress as a soldier to approach her? And he even sent people to protect her. Ryan simply said, "I didn't want you to be afraid of me." Martina asked strangely, "Are you very scary? I only felt you were very gentle when you gave me bread. To care about such things. You really are a strange person, but I don't hate your strangeness." At this moment, Ryan thought of his father. He thought what they said was right. Love is the hereditary madness in their family's bloodline. Ryan wanted her to stay so he could protect her. Martina turned her head and said he was crazy. The civil war in Sithning is so intense now. Where would you have time to protect me? And it was obvious he had investigated her identity. The two sat down. He said what he was doing now was very absurd. Like the stars representing them in the sky, it is enough to just become a shining version of oneself. In the dark of night, they will see each other's light, remember this encounter, and move forward again. A fallen star of an imperial princess and a ferocious star of a general. They kept this as their secret. Ryan agreed. He held back his reluctance and let her go. She hung like a star above his heart. As long as he thought of her, he wouldn't feel tired. As long as he thought of her, he no longer feared the pain of his illness. As long as he thought of her, he dared to fight any dangerous battle. In the end, he won the Sithning Civil War ahead of schedule. He didn't attend the awards ceremony, nor did he heed the rumors about him inheriting the empire. He just thought that he could finally go see her. He had sent people to track the imperial princess. He went deep into this uninhabited forest for the sake of some legendary creature. He originally had so much he wanted to say to her, until he saw her corpse. Ryan couldn't say a single word. He wanted to take her to see the snow in Sithning. Her red hair would have looked beautiful in it. He didn't understand what he had done wrong. In his cursed life, he had met only one star, and she had left too. His tears fell beneath the tree. A god appeared. The god pitied his grief and was willing to send him to see Martina. But the price was to forget everything, and his bloodlust would double. Ryan agreed without a moment's hesitation. No matter how many times he had to restart, no matter the cost, he would stay by Martina's side. In his past life, he thought he would weep weakly when he saw her again. But now he only felt happiness. Martina didn't know what he was thinking, She just told him to get better quickly. She still needed his help. Her father used her child as a threat to force her into a marriage alliance with Nosa. Now she was forced to stay here. Knowing she was being coerced by her imperial father, Ryan asked directly, "Do you need me to help kill your father?" Martina was stunned. Last time she asked him to help kill a prince, he wasn't willing. But Martina wouldn't adopt his method. She indeed hated her father, but if he died, the country would be thrown into turmoil. And Ryan's sudden change in attitude, it made Martina feel strange. It seemed that after getting sick, he had become different from before. Ryan revealed a mysterious smile. I found an important puzzle piece. Martina didn't understand what he was talking about, so she started discussing her own plan. Over the past few days, she had figured out the guard situation of this manor. As they were chatting, Nosa came looking for them. He had long felt that Martina's attention to his younger brother was unusual. His fiancée appearing in the dungeon with his brother. He needed a reasonable explanation. Ryan stepped in front of her and said, "She never agreed to your marriage alliance. You have no right to threaten her like this." Nosa was dissatisfied. She had even told his brother about this. Although Nosa was very hostile towards Ryan, he didn't seem to know Ryan's true strength. As long as she could buy time for Ryan to recover his health, he would become the strongest combatant. But Nosa's patience with her was running out. She could only try her best. She told Nosa she was willing to consider his marriage proposal, adding that she was just tired of this fearful life. Rather than being forced to sign a contract in the end, it was better to fight for some benefits for herself now. Nosa's face changed immediately. He said she no longer had the qualification to negotiate, adding that she was just good sold by her father. And the situation she was in now was indeed caused by her family. Nosa mentioned that her father was a domineering emperor with shrewd calculations. The Scything Empire was currently in a civil war, and the throne could change hands at any moment. As long as he married her, her father would support Nosa from behind the scenes. With her father's support, Nosa would have a great chance of becoming the emperor of Scything. Her father could also become a hidden controller, holding power over two countries. This perfect plan only required a small pawn. Martina was very angry after hearing this. They needed a woman to sacrifice her marriage and future in exchange for it. Nosa shook off her hand, saying that for an imperial princess despised by everyone, a marriage alliance was her only use. That's right. Martina had heard such words many times in her past life. Her brother once said he thought she would be too weak and die outside. But being alive was fine too. She still had other uses. There were also nobles who insulted her for being unruly, calling her a disgrace to the royal family. She was even sent to prison by her brother. In her past life, everyone told her she wasn't fit to be an imperial princess. Her parents and brother never treated her as family. It was the same after starting over. Fortunately, she had never yearned for them to change. She never thought that by bowing and scraping to them, she would receive pity. She didn't want charity from others. She only wanted a future she chose with her own hands. She already had a new family. Her child would always stand behind her. She also had people who followed her. She was no longer a villainess with nothing. Her eyes turned cold. She ordered Ryan to take her away. Ryan's eyes were slightly red. He was willing to place his honor in her hands. Nosa, looking at his brother's eyes, was already somewhat afraid. He ordered the knights to kill him. Ryan hugged Martina and told her not to open her eyes for a while. The smell of blood didn't suit her. The soldiers were terrified when they saw him, suspecting he was a monster. The sound of weapons around her didn't scare her at all. Instead, she only felt warmth. It seemed she had been held like this in her past life too, surrounded by blood. Nosa already had an arrow pressed against his neck, yet he didn't forget to say that Ryan's eyes looked exactly like the emperor in history who died of madness. Martina sat leisurely to the side and asked, "Do you still have a mood to talk nonsense now?" "Fiancé, have you ever thought that you would have such a day? You wanted to use a woman as a sacrifice for seizing power, but lost everything because of it. How will the Scything court judge you?" She couldn't wait to see this joke. Nosa could still say from the side that he genuinely wanted to be a couple with her. An arrogant villainess and a hedonistic playboy were a suitable pair. But it was a pity. He wanted to be his father's puppet, but she didn't like being manipulated by others. Nosa was already at this point, yet he didn't forget to curse her to become unhappy and then provoked Ryan to kill him. Facing the threat of death, Nosa didn't feel afraid. He could still mock Ryan, saying he wanted to die at the hands of his own brother. Ryan wouldn't let him have his wish. Want to end it all with death? Don't think of escaping the crimes you committed so easily. Seeing a lucid Ryan, Nosa was somewhat incredulous. In the past, after an episode, he would sleep for a day before waking up. Having enough experience with the episodes, Ryan could already control it. Feeling that Nosa was talking too much, Ryan directly knocked him out with a chop to the neck. Martina laughed. As expected, this is the fastest way to shut him up. She walked closer to check Ryan's body and saw he wasn't injured. As she was asking, she suddenly felt dizzy. Ryan supported her body, saying he shouldn't have let her see such a filthy scene. Next time, I'll clean it up thoroughly. Martina didn't understand why he said that, and he was too close. It reminded her of the familiar and warm feeling when he held her while fighting just now. While she was feeling embarrassed, Ryan asked if her child had a father. The sudden question almost made her jaw drop. Did he think her child was born with some lover? She really couldn't imagine he would think that. She went on to explain, the heir of the Moran Empire personally hatches a guardian holy beast. That is my child. Ryan's imagination was truly too exaggerated. Martina was amused by him. Ryan was a bit embarrassed and asked her not to laugh, because right now, he wanted to kiss the person in front of him. Martina's eyes widened, and she covered his mouth. She only wanted to protect Lily properly right now and secure the rights of inheritance. She understood that Ryan liked her, but inheriting the empire was her biggest goal right now. Everything else had to make way for it. After hearing this, Ryan was willing to wait for her. Just then, a questioning voice came from outside. Didn't he say he wasn't interested in you? This uncle who looks like a wall. Were the corpses and blood here all you're doing? Simply a ferocious beast. Hurry up and leave her. Ryan's face turned ugly upon hearing this. The magician in front of him seemed to have become stronger. Possessing such terrifying power would bring huge danger in the future. The two started fighting as soon as they met. After dealing with the aftermath, Ryan would take Nosa back to Sifning. He wouldn't let Nosa affect her anymore. Although they might not see each other for a long time after this, he believed they would meet again. When that time came, he wanted to invite Martina to travel. Martina happily agreed. Perhaps by then, he would already be a hero of Sifning. Who knew the magician would say, not necessarily. If not for Martina blocking the middle, the two would probably have started fighting again. Martina left with the magician. When he came here, he had already made complete preparations, intending to strike if he noticed anything wrong. He brought all the gems Martina gave him. Those were hard to get, but he was willing to use them all to save her life. The magician said, "What's that? The auction boss listens to me. I can get as much as I want. Let's talk about other things on the way. You should need some rest too." Someone in the carriage is about to lose his mind. The carriage began to leave the place. Martina asked about the child situation. Phoenix said Prince Meffel had brought Lily back. Lily was fine now. Her physical condition had no issues. Hearing this, Martina breathed a sigh of relief. Good, but for that guy to actively do such a thing, how much did the nobles know about her affairs? Father would definitely control some information and use public opinion to suppress her. Knowing Lily was safe, her taut nerves could finally relax. A sense of exhaustion surged in her heart. Unknowingly, she fell asleep. The magician shifted her into a different resting position. This might be more comfortable. Mill could only watch from the side. He was even mocked by the magician as a coward. Mill didn't say anything, but his expression didn't look too good. Soon the carriage arrived at the palace. She was home again. But her home was a place where one couldn't survive without holding a weapon. This feeling made her feel excited. Meal, go down first. The magician told him not to rush off yet. He spoke ill of Meal in front of Martina. Martina smiled and said he deserved it. Although the magician felt a bit stung, he still took out the High Mage badge. To save her, he forcefully increased his strength, taking exams during the day, gathering manpower with the secretary at night. He had been dizzyingly busy during this time. The High Mage exam wasn't cheap. Martina had already guessed that he had used up all the funds she prepaid for him at the Magic Tower. The magician ingratiatingly gave the badge to her. Martina teased with a smile that he only worked so hard to save her because he was afraid of losing his financial backer since she was kidnapped. She knew Martina always had her guard up. After all, keeping a magic genius by her side was too dangerous. Then he said, "But if I can't even protect the important people, then a genius is just trash. You could trust me a little more." Martina felt that if he was originally a stray cat feigning friendliness for food, although he didn't say any flattering words, she seemed to see his tail wagging at her. It seemed she was going to have a new pillar of the state. The atmosphere was just right at this moment. So she said, "Beside the monarch of the empire, but there will always stand a great magician. Martina wanted him to swear an oath. Phoenix took her hand and swore that standing beside her, that would be the most powerful magician in the Empire's history. But he didn't kiss the back of her hand, but her forehead. Martina scolded him with slight anger. The magician smiled and said, "Don't treat me like a child anymore, sister." With a ding-dong sound, this energy was not only transmitted to Lily, but could also bring a stroke of good luck to the country. In Martina's room, Lily was drawing. Suddenly, she felt a power surge through her body. It was Mama coming back. She thought hard in the room. She wanted Mama to see a strong Lily. She didn't want Mama to worry. She wanted to see Mama with a smile. As the door opened, Mama's figure appeared. Lily pounced directly on her. Seeing Lily was fine, Martina felt a bit ashamed. Mama failed to protect Lily before. She originally wanted to pretend to be strong and say she was fine these past days. But the more she spoke, the more aggrieved she felt. She really missed Mama these days. She had nightmares every day, thinking she would never see Mama again. Martina patted her shoulder comfortingly, saying it was okay. Lily could cry if she wanted to. She didn't have to hold it back. Lily asked for a hug from Mama. Martina smiled. Lily had become cunning. The child spoke cheerfully. Mil also said she looked exactly like Mama when she was little. Just then, she sensed someone approaching. It was Mil. Since their last argument, they hadn't spoken for a long time. This time, he only said, "Your Highness, then I won't disturb you." Then he left. Lily lay beside Mama and started talking about Mil. He's so strange. When Mama wasn't here, he kept talking about you. Now that Mama is back, he doesn't talk instead. Martina suspected she was being disliked. Lily said no one would dislike Mama. If there was, she would bite that person's head. She had just done it not long ago. Martina said, maybe Mil is just a bit unhappy recently. Tomorrow she planned to take a walk with Lily to relax, and let Mil relax together too. Just have a good sleep today. Lily was very happy. It felt so good to have Mama back by her side. She wanted to make Mama happy. The next day, the maids prepared the food. Martina happily took the child, intending to set off together. Who knew that at this time, the head maid came to convey a message that His Majesty wanted to see her and talk to her. Martina turned her head and said there was nothing to talk about. Since she was already back, the marriage alliance could be considered over. Then she told the head maid to tell her father that she was in no mood to argue with him right now. They would talk when she was in a better mood. So she set off happily. Father and Meffel watched the departing carriage from afar. The emperor was somewhat dissatisfied. Meffel said that with the intelligence sent, the second prince could have handled Martina. That was why he agreed to let that Lily go. But a problem occurred. Meffel felt it was the second prince's problem. Moreover, according to his investigation, the second prince only knew how to covet pleasure. He felt that using such a person to infiltrate Sifning through marriage, that was too slow. Meffel had a better method. Today, the emperor would know. The emperor wanted to unify this continent with his own hands, but his body was finding it a bit unbearable. Meffel took out medicine and handed it to his father, a smile of unclear meaning on his lips. Father might find it difficult to personally achieve this goal now, but he would achieve it. The carriage arrived at the outskirts. Lily shouted excitedly. Such a large patch of grass, all green, bigger than the palace. Martina looked at the child lovingly, reminding her not to go into the tall grass, as there would be bugs. Lily had stayed in the palace ever since she was born. Opportunities to go out were rare. It would be better to bring her out to play more often in the future. Lily curiously pinched a bug. She asked if this was the bug Mama spoke of. Among those present, only Mil had a particularly big reaction. Martina and the others accepted it quite well. The child took Louis and Lynn to go prepare food, telling Mama to rest nearby for a while before coming over. Martina couldn't help laughing. Lily's lawless appearance was truly exactly the same as when she was little. Saying this, she looked at Mil beside her and asked what he thought. Just when Martina thought he would never speak to her again, Mil opened his mouth to request something of her. Today, could he not be his secretary officer, and Her Highness not be an imperial princess? They were just ordinary friends now. Martina was a bit surprised and asked, "That's simple?" Martina seriously suspected whether he wanted to resign and was testing her bottom line first. Mil said she was overthinking it, so she agreed, starting with dropping the honorifics. Mil wanted Martina to call him directly by his name, and he also wanted to hold her hand. Martina was a bit puzzled. "I heard from Lynn that you haven't slept for days to save me." Yet now you only need this? Walking hand in hand like this, it seemed they had returned to their childhood. After Emil became her servant. Because he was about the same age as Martina but very mature, Mother was very assured letting him play with me. At that time, I often quarreled with Methil. Mother only made me maintain a ladylike demeanor. Father didn't care about me at all. Only Emil would chat with me, helping me get through my bad moods. Your Highness, look, there's a puppy there. As a result, she looked and found nothing there. He would act like a puppy to amuse her. She would be amused and laugh at that time. A very boring past, but thinking of it made her feel happy. At that time, Emil liked chatting with her, unlike now, always being silent. Emil asked her carefully, is holding hands like this uncomfortable? Martina felt it was nothing. After all, they often held hands like this when they were little. Emil said they had grown up and were different from before. Martina frowned. How is it different? We haven't changed. Emil smiled and said, before, our hand were about the same size. But now, your hand already appears very small. A breeze blew past, unsure whose heart it stirred. Emil's palm was slightly hot, making Martina a bit nervous. She pretended to be angry and walked away. Lily noticed the situation over with Mama. She smiled and said, Mama and Emil seem very happy. Lynn and the others could also set their minds at ease seeing this. Previously, the atmosphere between Emil and the Imperial Princess was very tense. Louis whispered and started gossiping with Lynn, suspecting it was because the appearance of the magician gave Emil a sense of crisis. Lily also curiously leaned over to ask. Louis asked about the magician, Emil, and a very tall big brother. Who did she like best? Lily fell into a difficult choice. Emil often played with her, but the magician brother could set off fireworks. The other big brother was very tall. This was simply too hard to choose. Lily wanted someone to play with her every day. As they were chatting, the Imperial Princess hadn't expected her master to have returned and even asked what they were talking about. With popping sounds, colored ribbons flew into the sky. Lynn and Louis congratulated her on her safe return together. Lily presented a cake and also offered her blessings, saying she wanted to be with Mama forever. It turned out they had been preparing this all morning, so I was always being cared about by others. She would remember this day forever. Emil just watched from the side, hoping her light would shine on forever. At the same time, he was somewhat lost. If that day really came, he didn't know if he could still stay by the Imperial Princess's side. This cake was made by their own hands. Martina thought of another mission she had. Yesterday, she used Lily's upgraded new skill, unlocked the good fortune of the Moran Kingdom, and also selected a powerful force. It was right here in Nokia Valley. She brought people she trusted here. She just wanted to wait until the sky was a bit darker to search for this power. Unknowingly, it started to rain in the sky. Lily still tried to use her ears to block the rain, but she forgot she didn't have ears right now. Lily was human now. It was raining, so she couldn't stay outside too long or she would catch a cold. She wanted to ask Emil to take Lily back to the carriage. But when she turned around, she found she didn't know where Emil had gone. Lynn said he went for a walk earlier and hadn't come back yet. She asked her Highness to go back first. She would go find Emil. Martina felt it was a bit strange. How could she not have noticed Emil leaving? So she decided to go find him personally. Finally, she found Emil by the pool. Seeing her come over, Emil wanted to send her back and even addressed her respectfully as Your Highness. Clearly, he said they were friends today. Now he was maintaining distance again. Emil wanted to take off his clothes to help her block the rain, telling her to go back quickly. Martina understood now. Emil had something he wanted to say to her, which was why he said they would only be friends today. Now there were only the two of them here. Martina told him to say whatever he had to say right here.